to send it.
Yeah.
Can you go access up someone carry?
Yeah, you want
You got multiple people.
Do I what?
Is it that way for ankle hacks up? You have multiple people carry you up?
carry you away like Charlie Kirk. Did you see the video of them carrying him to the car?
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw two different angles of them carrying him to the car. It's bad.
Yeah.
Keep thinking about it too. It's like, dude, that guy's my age.
Did you
He
see
literally
what,
was turning 30.
you see what David Torres did?
Yeah, I commented on it.
Did you on it too?
Yeah, because I don't think we should. I was going to mention that, and I totally forgot. That he mentioned.
And I agree with him.
We shouldn't be lowering it half. Da.
I agree with him. But you don't talk bad about a dead man. He hasn't been dead for 24 hours yet. Not even, just barely 24 hours. And he did that last night.
Yeah.
Like 16 hours after he's dead. That's not right, man. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my poor, wretched soul. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com. Trying to get through the week as we learn more about the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the manhunt that continues to go on for his killer. We also must stop and commemorate 9/11, obviously. We'll get into that in just a second. Where were you on this date in 2001? I'll tell you where I was and the weird morning and experience I had and how I almost got into a fight with a DJ at Clear Channel Radio over 9/11. Talk about that. And it's a Thursday, so Mike Turnipseed will join us at 4 o'clock, along with our money man, Daniel Petrie, at 4:30. A series of HBCUs, historically black colleges, have been shut down, perhaps for the remainder of the week, after receiving death threats and bomb threats at several different schools in several different states, including Bethune-Cookman College, which is named after one of my trinket or souvenirs, Mary McLeod Bethune. It's one of the schools down in Florida. She is one of the great black educators that started Bethune College and then was an all-girls school, and then combined with Cookman College, an all-male school, hence Bethune-Cookman College. And Spelman, a couple of schools in the Atlanta University Center, where I attended, Morehouse College, were also threatened, including Spelman College and Clark Atlanta University, which are both literally across the street from Morehouse College. Did you notice? They didn't mess with the house. I'm just saying. Just saying. They know better. 3,000 brothers, we get it on because we don't get along. We don't mess around. I shouldn't make light of that. We'll get into that. And we failed to air that audio we have of DeCarlos Brown Jr., the man that slit the throat of the 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee, the discussion he had with his mother. We'll play that for you. And the Dodgers are in big, big trouble. Big, big trouble. Yeah, we got a 7-2 win, but did you see how it ended? So here comes Michael Kopech. Haven't seen him in a while. That's ball 4, man on first. Here's Kopech with the set. That's ball 4, man on second base. Dave Roberts going to leave him in here. Ball 4, he's loaded the bases with 3 batters. And finally, somebody's woken up Dave Roberts. Hey, Dave, Mike just loaded the bases. Huh? What? What? He did what? Oh, I better go get him. Although the good news is Alex Vesia looks like I'll be the closer. I'll do it because he looked great last night. But of course, Doc, along with Sleepy and Grumpy, failed to let him pitch more than 3 innings. And we brought Kopech in the 9th, and he loaded the bases. Unlike Blake Trinan, who loaded the bases, he didn't walk the bases loaded. He hit 1 guy and walked the other 2. We're in deep doo-doo. We really are. But what? But we do stop on this horrendous. It's hard to believe it's been 23 years. It really is. 24 years, excuse me. Thank you. 24 years. It's just, see how hard it is to believe? I thought it was 23 instead of 24. How old were you? 9? Did you know what was going on?
Honestly, no. At the time, I did not really comprehend what was happening. It wasn't until a couple years later we really started to figure out how big of a deal it was.
I tell this story every year. I was the news director at Clear Channel Radio, which beyond the hours, 5 to 9 in the morning, was a really fun job because just like our cluster, Clear Channel owns several stations. Most radio companies do. It's called a cluster where we own Hot, Hits, our 2 hip hop stations, and K-Big, and our Spanish station, and our news station. And my job at Clear Channel, which was similar, we had what we called a soccer mom station, you know, Taylor Swift and just kind of, you know what I mean? And then we had a rock station, and we had a hip hop station, and the news station. And my job which made it fun, was to find news that fit each format. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't play a murder story on the soccer mom station unless it had something to do with like a teacher who was back in the news, the teacher that was shot in the chest by the 6th grader, something like that would fit that deal. And it was just kind of fun to try to pick news that fit the format. And just coincidentally, a week before 9/11, a man in Italy had a heart attack flying a commercial propeller plane and crashed into a building after having a heart attack flying the plane just a week before this. So, and I have a vague memory of New York, as I talked about yesterday. And I knew that there was no reason for a commercial plane to be near the Twin Towers. So I thought, obviously, maybe there was a medical emergency, or it never dawned on me when the first plane hit that this was terrorism. But I began writing the stories for all the stations. And I can't remember what the time lapse was, but it was a significant time, not hours, but maybe half an hour, maybe less than that. I can't remember. And when the second plane hit, I ran around to all the DJs and told them, we've got to cut in. This is gargantuan. I remember saying, we could be at war. I don't know what this is, but this isn't a coincidence. And there was one guy, his name was Fast Eddie. He was on the rock station, and he was like out of central casting. You know, he did the morning shift. He had this kooky morning show. He played the banjo. He had, what do you think, the tambourine? Yeah. And he was just the weirdest son of a gun I've ever met. And I said, Eddie, we've got to cut in. 2 planes have hit the Twin Towers. I'm not cutting in for that. I said, have you lost your mind? Did you hear what I said? The Twin Towers are on fire. They've been hit by 2 planes. We could be under war. And we get into it and we start screaming. And then finally, might have been Danny Spanks, actually, Nancy's, who came down the hall and was like, what's going on? Like, we're trying to get this idiot to cut in. And he was like, you're not going to cut in, Eddie? He's like, should I? And like, why is it all reasonable when Danny or whoever walks in? He's like, yeah, okay, I guess. I'm like, you damn right, you guess. What's the matter with you, moron? Went back. And then it was funny. We had guys from Houston. I think at that time, Clear Channel's hub was in Houston. And we had a group of guys that was there, and they had to stay in. We hung out with them the whole week. They had to stay in Bakersfield the whole week because, as most of you remember, nobody but the Saudis got to fly. And yeah, that was a little dig at George Bush, how the Saudis flew out of here somehow. And you know, there's still, I was just watching the other night, there's still controversy about the towers coming down and the 3rd building coming down, and the fact that these structures are built not to collapse like this. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. I really don't. I have no desire to. Although you know, it's much like the Kennedy thing. It's much like the moon thing. You can come up with a lot of evidence that makes you kind of go, as Arsenio Hall used to say. There really is. There's this great video of Donald Rumsfeld, the Secretary of the Treasury, talking about all these documents that were being held in this building. And that's what the conspiracy theorists believe why they blew it up, because they wanted to get rid of documents and all this nonsense. And why they let the Saudis get out of here that Tuesday or whatever morning it was. I don't know about that. The most horrendous thing that I remember seeing and have seen today is just those firemen, those guys who just never even thought about it for a minute, and how many of them are still ill or have died from just the toxic area after the buildings fell, and that noise, the video of the firemen in the lobby, and you can just hear this thumping, this constant thumping. And I think you can hear someone say, what is that? And someone says, it's bodies. It's folks jumping out of the building who'd rather jump than burn to death. And it's just, and yet on the positive side, for at least, I don't know, it's hard to remember, but we were one country. We really were. I mean, it was like living in the South. Everybody was cordial. We all were pulling on one side of the rope. We all felt a pride in America. That's why George Bush's approval ratings was like 70, 75%. And I've never felt that. In fact, I feel the exact opposite. We're going to talk about that after the break. About a local attorney, David Torres, who decided to go on Facebook and take a position against the Board of Supervisors, who are calling for us to put our flags at half staff. I don't understand. I really don't. I'll explain when we get back, along with an MSNBC man who did exactly what I predicted would happen. Because the fact of the matter is, there are liberals who hated this man so badly that they are reveling in his death. That's where we are in the 21st century. Matthew Dowd is his name. He got whacked for basically saying what I predicted. I quoted Malcolm X, who got severely punished, and it was the beginning of the end for Malcolm X with the Nation of Islam and with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who severely punished Malcolm X after the death of John Kennedy, when Malcolm X said the chickens have come home to roost. His point was, we had been trying to assassinate Fidel Castro. We had allowed the assassination of Diem in South Vietnam. And Malcolm said, the chickens have come home to roost. Well, some liberals are saying that about the death of Charlie Kirk as well. And I would have never suspected that David Torres, a Marine, would write so ugly, mean-spirited, just tacky attack on a man who can't defend himself. I'll read you what Mr. Torres posted on Facebook. Then at the bottom of the hour, opening statements have begun, particularly talk about assassinations. Ryan Ruth is representing himself and just making a clown of himself and a joke out of the courtroom. But I'll tell you what happened in day one as testimony began. Mr. Turnsi at 4 o'clock, Petrie at 4:30. We'll get into the threats that are going on at HBCUs and get more on the death of the young Ukrainian woman down in Charlotte, North Carolina. In the meantime, on this Thursday, you're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Clay and Buck, it's been a very, very tough week. We will update you with the absolute latest on Charlie Kirk assassination and the pursuit of his killers and the attempts to bring him to justice. Plus,
Bring you a look ahead at how a lot of our brothers and sisters in the media continue discussion debate Charlie stood for on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Have you started to look toward the future and started examining the fact that retirement could be staring you dead in the mug? If you're in your mid-50s or early 60s, it comes fast, and there's no one better to discuss your retirement with than my money man, Daniel Petrie. Call Daniel today at 395-9400, 395-9400. Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, they are experienced at retirement. And as I've always told you guys, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, best financial move I have ever made in my life. I no longer feel like I have to rely on my 401k or Social Security. I've got my money invested with Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, who join us tomorrow at 4:30. Hope you'll be with us.
Rulers of Kern County present an afternoon fundraising event under the sea auction. Saturday, October 11th, beginning at 11 a.m. at the Women's Club. For over 40 years, the local guild has
Did I?
provided quilts, pillowcases, teddy bears, and dog beds to Kern County veterans, neonatal intensive care
It wasn't on?
No, it was on. A pop-up came up that needs to be restarted, so I'll restart it. Sure. I just said, it didn't remind me later before we accidentally restarted it.
Hey, check, they're saying they might have found the guy. I don't know, that's what somebody's saying.
Tickets for the event are $65 and available at the She Shed by the Peachy Pig. 1318 19th Street, or online at CPQ's website, cottonpatchquiltguild.org, prior to the event. No tickets will be sold at the door. Advance to sales only.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey, Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
I say to myself, you're such a
Eight 842-5376-842-KERN. So I suppose many of you know this, but just in case some of you coming home from work or picking up your kids and you haven't been following the news today, authorities postponed a news conference, and keep an eye out for any late afternoon, because it's what, 5 o'clock back there? They're on Mountain Time. Is Mountain Time an hour? No, that's Central. It's 2 hours. They're Mountain, so it's 4:30, going on 4:30 in Utah. But so keep your eyes open for any news conference. But that's a good sign that they delayed the news conference. It's supposed to be at like 11:30 our time, and they backed it up, and they backed it up again, meaning that they're on to something. And for those who have expressed some fear that they're not going to catch this guy, you done lost your mind. Have you not heard my warnings? You cannot commit murder in the 21st century. Just like they caught the Idaho guy, just like they caught Luigi Mangione, you're on camera everywhere. It's going to take some time. They're going to have to collect a hell of a lot of cameras from the city, from residences, from commercial businesses. But believe me, they are onto this guy. They've already tracked him coming out off the campus, is where they discovered how he jumped off the building and went into the woods, and that's where they found the high-powered bolt-action rifle. And there's a $100,000 reward for his arrest. They'll find this guy. It may take a couple of days, as it did with Luigi Mangione and with Brian, whatever his name is, Cronenberg, whatever his name is, Idaho killer. But they will find this guy. They absolutely will. And once again, he is a young Caucasian. And, you know, it's almost like I say this every single day. We've lost that generation from like 16 to 30, maybe even 35, just absolutely lost them. The Colorado shooting is getting, buried, but the kid that took his own life and killed 2 others, 16 years old. He was 16 years old. And I believe this is Suicide Prevention Month. And when you go on something like this, like the Charlie Kirk's assassin, he knows he's dead. I don't see this kid giving himself up. I really don't. We'll see what happens. But let us just pray that they find this guy. And they're talking to witnesses that, everybody saw this. There was about 2,000 students at Utah Valley University. And, I've seen just about every angle. They've got new, because again, everybody's got phones. They've got new video of him being taken away in a private car, and how people reacted behind the scenes when he was shot. And most of the pundits agreed with what I said yesterday, that this man had to have been a pretty damn good shot from 200 yards. I mean, that's 2 football fields. That's a pretty good shot, particularly given the angle. And most of the law enforcement experts have agreed that had this planned out. He was there about an hour before. What, you got something?
They found out the guy's name, but they did not caught him.
Have they released his name? Yeah, see, it's only a matter of time. Especially now that now that they've identified him, it's only a matter of time. Because now you can go to his family, and there are only so many places somebody like this can go. You know, where can this guy hide? What kind of money does he have? How long is that going to, it's not like remember the Olympic bomber who was up in the hills? And we still found him. It took like a month or two. But once you're identified, once there's a picture of you, you're done. There's no getting away from this. But it's just unfortunate that so many people are taking advantage of this to revel in this, the way that Tim Walz I think it was Howard that pointed out yesterday, celebrated or wanted to celebrate the fact that he thought perhaps Donald Trump was dead. And Matthew Dowd basically said something to the effect of what Malcolm X said, that they've taken comments, and David Torres did the same. I'll read what Mr. Torres wrote on Facebook after the break. But they're basically taking comments that he made. And, I couldn't have said this a couple of days ago because Mr. Kirk was part of our American General Media team. But I didn't necessarily agree with everything that Mr. Kirk said. But I still admired his passion for his religion, his passion for his family, his passion for discourse, the ability to agree to disagree, but to take the mean-spirited shot to the kidneys that David Torres took is so beneath the United States Marine and so beneath a man that has got such a fine reputation in our community. Cliches become cliches because they stand the test of time. And one of the great cliches is you don't speak ill of the dead, particularly hours after they die. I'll read exactly what Mr. Torres said right after these important words.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Keith Peters, Americans that marked 24 years since the September 11, 2001 at the World Trade Center started in New York City. The nearly 2,000 victims' names were read aloud Tuesday at the Pentagon and Virginia Memorial Service honoring the 184 service members and civilians killed. And in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, a similar ceremony honored the victims of Flight 93. Security experts are questioning the protection provided to Charlie Kirk at the Utah college where he was fatally shot. The shooting happened Wednesday during an outdoor event at Utah Valley University. Campus Police Chief Jeff Long said 6 officers staffed the event and coordinated with Kirk's security team. SRN News.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'm Bill Robbins. A convicted rapist was found guilty on 6 of 8 counts for sexually assaulting a woman in Southwest Bakersfield in 2022. Police say Sergio Venegas pulled her into a secluded area, pulled a knife, and assaulted her. Venegas was later found with some of the victim's property he'd stolen. He was convicted of rape in 1999. Sentence will be passed at a future hearing. Police are investigating after a body was found near a dumpster in a shopping complex in Southwest Bakersfield. So far, officers do not suspect foul play. Police arrived on scene at the 6,000 block of Panama Lane.
found a body behind the dumpster, officers suspect that the man was homeless. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Networks. You know, a lot of IT companies try to squeeze your unique business into their cookie cutter solutions. That's why we've teamed up with Adaptive Networks, because they know no two businesses are exactly alike, and your IT shouldn't be either. While other MSPs offer one-size-fits-all packages, Adaptive Networks takes the time to listen and understand your specific challenges, your industry requirements. They build custom technology solutions that actually fit your business, not the other way around. So whether you're a small company or a growing enterprise, Adaptive Networks adapts to you. Their customer-driven approach means you get exactly what you need. So don't settle for generic IT support. Call Adaptive Networks today to discover what true customized technology solutions can do for your business. Adaptive Networks, because your business is and your IT should be as well. Visit adaptive-net.com or call 661-241-0638 today.
On the next Armstrong and Getty show, of course, we'll bring you the latest on the manhunt for the assassin of poor Charlie Kirk, plus the eloquent statements of the need for America to abandon political violence keep coming, and we will bring them to you.
Plus, we'll try to have a little fun on a Friday, and all the other news stories we've been following, you know, they didn't just go away. We'll have the latest on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now, back to Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
842-5376, 842-KERN. I don't want to get into this, but I almost feel like I have to. I really do. I just think that there's a time and a place for just about everything. And I've known Mr. Torres for quite. We're not pals, you know, at events, and I covered him, a reporter for the Californian, and at 23 and 29. And I've always respected him. In fact, I have a close relationship with his daughter, who was the assistant news director at Channel 17. But I've always respected him. I've always considered him a part of what I like to affectionately call the Mexican Mafia, the guys that get things done for the Latino community. He and H.A. Salas and Daniel Rodriguez and some of the other attorneys and some of the physicians in this town. But I was shocked and astounded by what he wrote in trying to support his thesis, which is, as he writes, the county should not fly its flags half-mast for Charlie Kirk. According to a Facebook posting by Supervisor Jeff Flores, quote, the county of Kern will lower our flags to half-mast in his memory. Here is my comment. Well, no kidding. Surprising to see an attorney write that badly. For the young people, you don't have to state what you're about to state when you're about to state it. I don't open the show as like, here's what I'm about to say, and then start talking. Yeah, I'm pissed, so I'm ticky-tacking everything he writes. The shooting of Charlie Kirk is yet another tragic example of the epidemic of gun violence in the United States. No one should ever have to witness or endure such senseless brutality. That said, I strongly oppose the decision to fly our county flags at half-mast in his honor, period. If he'd ended it right there, I would have said, I wholeheartedly agree, Mr. Torres. I wholeheartedly agree. I do not think that we should put our flags at half-mast for a radio talk show host or any other celebrity. If Taylor Swift gets into an accident tomorrow and dies, should we put him at half-mast? Sidney Poitier died last summer. We didn't put him at half-mast. Hulk Hogan died a couple of weeks ago or months ago. We didn't. Celebrities, no. If he had left it there, I could have agreed with him. But then he goes on just the only word I kept thinking of how I could describe it, it's just tacky. It's just tacky. My mother's word is gauche. I never really understood what that meant, but I knew it wasn't good. But just unnecessary, it's just piling on. You know, it's like a personal foul penalty. He writes, that said, I strongly oppose the decision to fly our county flags at half-mast in his honor. Charlie Kirk was not a unifying figure. He was a self-proclaimed Christian nationalist who actively fueled division in our country. Well, what are you doing, Mr. Torres? He repeatedly demeaned women, arguing that their primary role should be motherhood over careers, belittling those over 30 as, quote, unattractive in the dating pool, end quote, and even condemning birth control as making women, quote, angry and bitter. These are not the values that deserve county recognition. More troubling, Kirk himself declared just months ago, quote, it's worth it to have, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment, end quote. To honor a man who openly minimized the cost of gun violence only to become a victim of it makes the board's decision deeply offensive and hypocritical. Where was the same gesture when Democratic state senators in Minnesota were assassinated? Did we lower our flags then? No. Even our own veterans, men and women who sacrificed for this nation, are not consistently afforded such recognition. Flying the county flag at half-mast in this case not only disregards proper flag protocol, but also disrespects many in our community. If individuals wish to lower their personal flags, that is their right. But the county's flag should not be used to make such a politically charged and divisive statement. I urge the board to consider this misguided and insensitive action. It's just not necessary. Not hours after a man dies. And as I was raised, you don't speak ill of the dead. And this is just beneath a Marine, and it's beneath David Torres. You know, Marines are trained to take shots at people, but not when they're dead. Not when they can't defend themselves. That's just cruel and mean-spirited. There was a young woman in her late 20s who's lost her husband and who has 2 young children to raise. And at no point does Mr. Torres seem to grasp what this really represents, in my opinion at least. What this really represents is that we're spiraling out of control as democracy. We can't get along to get along. We can't agree to disagree. And suddenly violence in the 21st century is the norm, particularly political violence. Whether it is 2 Democratic people in Minnesota, or whether it's the shooting at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, or whether it's someone trying to burn down the governor of Pennsylvania's home while he and his children and wife are still in there, or whether it's Paul Pelosi getting slapped on the head with a hammer because the man is looking for his wife, a congresswoman, or whether it's Gretchen Whitmer being threatened with kidnapping, or Steve Scalise getting shot at a softball game, or Gabby Gifford getting shot in the head at an open-air event. That's the true danger of the 21st century. And to use this opportunity to express his anger with Charlie Kirk, like I said, it's just tacky and just beneath a United States Marine. And again, let's make it clear. I agree with Mr. Torres' thesis. It is ridiculous for us to put our flags at half-mast for a radio personality, for an influencer, for a podcaster, because how then do we select? Every celebrity that passes away, everyone that's popular, there is a protocol and we should use it. But to speak of a man so mean-spiritedly before he's even laid to rest, it's just a cheap, cheap shot. And I've never associated the words cheap or mean-spirited to David Torres. And yet, he spewed this divisiveness, which of course was followed by back and forth amongst people. Pro, con, pro, con. I was afraid of this. I thought perhaps maybe this would make us stop and take a step back and realize that we've got to cool the temperature. We've got to stop the rhetoric and cool and just understand that we cannot all get along. We cannot all agree. And who wants to live, as I mentioned yesterday, in a world where we all agree? Diversity makes life worth living. Whether it's race or gender or socioeconomic background, it's what makes life interesting. What if we were all alike? What kind of life would that be? 842-5376, 842-KERN. Who you got? Chris, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
If we were all the same, life would be absolutely boring. But first, I agree with you. I don't agree with everything Charlie Cook about. And I will thank David Torres for his service to our country. But he, like my father in World War II, my brothers during Vietnam, and now my son was in actually put on that uniform with the express purpose of defending every American's right to speak openly without the fear of execution or for losing their life for their opinion. And quite obviously, he has lost sight of that part of the field.
Absolutely.
Bothers me the most, more than anything.
Absolutely.
I'll never thank him, but he has forgotten why he put on that uniform, and that is an absolute shame. And Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die simply for opening dialogue and disagreeing with what other people said.
Absolutely. Well said, Chris. Well said, my brother.
I appreciate you all. Appreciate what you do.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it, man. Like, yep, that he said it better than I did. From now on, don't take when I go on a rant, if Chris follows me, don't take his phone call. You can't show up to host. I can't go on a 10-minute rant and then him come in 2 minutes and show me up. Good googly moogly. That was brilliant. And he was point on. And that's what I don't understand, what Mr. Torres doesn't understand. The assassination of Charlie Kirk wasn't just the assassination of a radio talk show host or a podcaster. It was the snuffing of the First Amendment. It was a turn in our country that sends fear out that you can't express your opinions. And as Chris said, there are a lot of things that Charlie Kirk said that I was like, say what? He made some comment about seeing a black pilot and hoping that he was competent. I couldn't talk about that a week ago. We were on one team. We're not on the same team any longer. But that's beside the point when it comes to a man getting shot in the neck at the age of 31, simply because someone either didn't like what he was saying or disagreed with what he was saying. And I didn't want to get into what Chris got into, but he's exactly right. You put on that uniform as the United States Marine, and you are there to fight for the Constitution, which means you're there to fight for everyone's right to have the First Amendment and have free expression, whether you like it or not. That is the true test of the First Amendment. It's like winning and losing. Everybody gets along in the locker room when it's winning. Everything is great. The steaks taste better, the beer's a little bit colder, everything's wonderful, and the coach is brilliant. But when you're truly tested is when you lose. How do you handle it when you lose? And that's really the true test of the First Amendment. Can you defend it when someone's saying something that you detest? Can I defend the KKK's right to march down Main Street? Well, as much as I don't like it, you damn right I defend it. And for some reason, maybe old age or I don't know, but Mr. Torres has forgotten that. And I don't know whether it's that short man syndrome that so many men suffer from. You know, there are two horrible things that can happen to a man. You can be short or you can be bald, where you're looking up at every girl that you want to date and every man that you have to do business with. I don't know if that's his problem. Short man syndrome, but good God almighty, Mr. Torres, take some stock and understand what we're dealing with here. This isn't the death of just one man. This is an attempt to snuff out everyone or anyone's ability to express themselves without the fear of, oh, I don't know, getting shot in the neck. As Horace Gump says, and I'll try to get to this if my producer could come back in here. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, Mike Turnipseed will join us at the top of the hour. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. Someone else learned the very same lesson that Mr. Torres needs to learn, and that's Matthew Dowd. I'll walk you through that story. He's an MSNBC contributor, or he used to be. I'll kind of read you what he said and why NBC had to let him go. This was kind of like the child of an alcoholic. We knew this was going to either go one of two ways. Child of alcoholics either don't drink or they become alcoholics. And I knew this would go one of two ways. Either the liberals would come out of the cracks and revel in the death of this man, or perhaps we'd take a step back and realize we all breathe the same air, we all live on the same planet, we all want the same things for our children and grandchildren. And while we may have differences of opinion, no one deserves to get snuffed out simply because of what they believe or what they express. It's really, really simple. Got to step aside, coming right back on a Thursday, right here on News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Friday edition, Clay and Buck. It's been a very, very tough week. We will update you with the absolute latest on the Charlie Kirk assassination and the pursuit of his killers and the attempts to bring him to justice. Plus, Buck, we'll bring you a look ahead at how a lot of our conservative brothers and sisters in the media planet continue the discussion that Charlie stood for on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learn about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits and coverage. Understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today, 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs and needs, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Looking for flooring? It's on sale at America Ceramics. Looking for kitchen countertops? It's on sale at America Ceramics. How about shower tile? Yep,
That's on sale too at America Ceramics. At America Ceramics, everything you need to transform your space is marked down for the summer. From sleek stone surfaces to bold backsplash tiles, they have it, and it's all on sale. Bring your big ideas to America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue. Or visit americaceramics.com to get started. But don't wait. Styles and savings are going fast, and this summer sale won't last forever. America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue. Or visit americaceramics.com to get started.
You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Mr. Torres works for himself, so he can't get fired, but Matthew Dowd can. He's a contributor with MSNBC. They fired the senior political analyst after he suggested on air that the slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk's own radical rhetoric may have contributed to the shooting that killed him. During his appearance on Katie Tour Reports, Dowd suggested that Kirk's rhetoric may have contributed to the violence that claimed his life. But they just said that. Kirk, 31, had a history of right-wing provocation and Christian nationalism and frequently espoused bigoted rhetoric about Islam, women, LGBTQ plus communities, and people of color. Wow, that's a bold statement to just make factually. Hateful thoughts led to hateful words, which then led to hateful actions, Dowd said. You can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and then not expect awful things to take place. Dowd also speculated about the circumstances of the shooting, saying, we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration. So we have no idea about this. The network issued an apology and announced Dowd's dismissal, which came shortly after Kirk was shot dead during a question and answer session at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. We apologize for his statements, as has he. There is no place for violence in America, political or otherwise. Rebecca Cutler described Dowd's comments as inappropriate, insensitive, and unacceptable. And that's how I would call Mr. Torres's comments on Facebook, just absolutely mean-spirited and insensitive. You don't speak ill of the dead, and you particularly don't speak ill of the dead before they're buried, or at least outside of 24 hours of their death. He wrote that about 16 hours after a man was shot and killed. I just can't imagine that kind of anger that I think begins with Trump and the whole right-wing movement. I just think there are many liberals who think that MAGA people should just be wiped off the face of the earth. I really believe that. I really believe that. I believe that there are liberals who think that MAGA people are just absolutely disgusting. I saw some video of Tim Scott being berated in the streets of Washington, D.C. by another African-American man who, of course, used the ugliest thing I think you can call an African-American, just kept calling him an Uncle Tom. Hey, Tommy, you Uncle Tom, you're a disgrace to your race. Sometimes, I think maybe it's good to be old. Maybe it's good to only have to be here for another 15, 20, 25 years. But you don't want to say that too loudly. Guy might hear you. What do you got on the board before we get Mr. Turnipseed in here?
Being in the military, I would think that David Torres would know the correct term to lower the flag on government buildings. It's half staff, not half mast.
Yeah, that's what I said. Half mast is on a ship. That is kind of surprising. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What else you got?
Someone is chiming in claiming that the shooter is a Marine and a retired colonel from the U.S. Army.
I doubt he's a colonel.
No, actually, you know what? That might be. Was Torres possibly?
Yes.
So that's probably who they're talking about.
Yeah, I doubt this guy's a colonel. And there's video of the guy that he has a decided limp. So it is not going to be very long before they round him up. I suspect by, where are we, Thursday? Yeah, by the end of the week, they'll have this guy. Particularly now that they know his name. That's you know, you go to the family, you squeeze the family. You know, first thing the FBI is going to tell the family is, if you don't help us, you could be an accessory after the fact. And all of a sudden, people are like, yeah, well, he might be at his cousin's down in Beaufort, South Carolina. They tend to talk just a little bit. Who you got? Barbara, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Hello.
Hi, Barbara.
I read, I was sitting at the doctor's office yesterday with nothing to do but scroll through my phone, and David had comments within hours, like just a couple of hours. I don't know if you wrote more later in the day, but it was way before 16 hours after.
Yeah.
What I've noticed is, because I grew up with a lot of people on the East Coast, I grew up on the East Coast, and they're all very liberal, and they all put me down for my beliefs, which I would never in a million years do to them.
Right.
And I don't know if they noticed it or what, but it's absolutely 100% across the board. Liberals will blame us for what we believe, as opposed to just not liking our person. Whereas I would never put somebody down for what they believe. That's the whole point, is that we all get to believe what we want.
Yeah.
Nobody has an opinion anymore. Everybody is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has forgotten what the word opinion is, and it drives me insane.
They can't comprehend why we would support Donald Trump just as much as I can't comprehend how they could support Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, but I would never judge them for that. That's your opinion. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
And if they think we were just as serious the 4 years that Biden was quote unquote in charge, if they think we weren't just as serious, then they're really stupider than I thought. Because we were.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Just wait till it's time to vote again, and that's what we all did.
Yeah, that's how the system works. I got a hard break, Barbara. I got to fly. Thanks for the call. Take care. Remember, Hillary was the leadoff hitter in this back in 2016 when she disparaged all MAGA voters, said we were disgusting or trash or something. They really believe that. They truly believe that. And that's why they believe that they're totally in bounds when they take just these ugly, untimely, mean-spirited, just tacky, beneath a man like David Torres or any United States Marine who doesn't understand this is about political violence that has to stop. We head into the 4 o'clock hour. Mike Turnipseed joins us next. Where is he?
We will never forget September 11th, 2001. He spoke of America's resilience in the years since the terror attacks. Following his remarks, the President and First Lady laid a wreath in the Pentagon Chapel to honor those who lost their lives. Greg Clugston, Washington. Donald Trump Jr. paid tribute to his late friend Charlie Kirk on the Scott Jennings Show on the Channel Radio Network today.
You can win them over, and they can wake up, and they can change their mind, and they can come around to our view of the world. And what was so radical about anything Charlie said? He talked about God, our Constitution, that men can't be women. He talked about family.
So
these are not exactly radical ideas, and yet the radical left,
so
they are very.
For all these financial difficulties we have, the president sends Air Force 2 with the vice president and with all his security and everything to go pick him up and fly the body. Mike, I think you're turning liberal on me. What? What would I say now? You got to soften your old days. I want jails open. You got to soften your old days, Mike. Me? I'm not soft. Uncle Mike. What do you mean I'm soft? Not Uncle Tom.
Don't need any headsets. Chris is.
Hear my music.
Oh, sorry. That's true. No, we've got to let the the subscribers hear what we're talking about. So we set up a little headset here. You know what you need to do, Mr. Turnip Seed?
What's that?
You need to pull out that black card of yours, call Dodger Stadium, get us a pair of tickets to Giants Dodgers. Let's go.
Winter Giants Dodgers.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh.
Let's go. You pick the day.
You mean there's empty seats?
True that. Well, because you guys are on
Hey,
it. You guys are on.
We gotta, yeah. My gold card ain't enough to go to Dodger Stadium. You gotta get a black card to go now.
That's why I said the black card.
Say it. What's a beer?
Like $16.
$16 for a beer.
Yeah. What?
What's a hot dog?
Dodger dog, $15.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I normally,
You're in the fancy food place.
Yeah, we have dinner.
Stadium Club and the whole thing.
Yes.
So Stadium Club's
Although the
gotta
last
be.
time,
Stadium Club has to be $75 to $100 in at least.
oh, easy.
For the basic.
Yeah.
It should be buffets and stuff.
Last time I was there though, on Shohei Ohtani Day, I had to stand in line with the riffraff and pay 12 or 15 bucks for a hot dog and 16 for a beer.
The riffraff.
Yeah, it's just different. I can't lie, it's different.
No, I
You
know. No, I've been in the Stadium Club and it's very nice.
And we were in the sun all day. That was tough. That was tough. Although I kept looking down behind home plate because it was a 1 o'clock game and they were in the sun all day too. So I didn't feel so bad. But that's what you ought to do, Mike. Get a spare ticket. Let's go. Let's go. Let's have a road trip.
I'll have to call my banker.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll buy the food. I'll buy all the deers and the dogs.
Oh, after you only spent $400 or $500 for a ticket?
Yeah. Well, hell, between the two of us,
That's
if I'm buying the beer and the dog, yeah, we're spending $100, $150 easy.
You are, then I'm spending $1,000 on
Yeah,
the ticket.
true that. True that. Have you seen what David Torres wrote on Facebook?
No, I
Are
did
you
not.
a Facebook guy? Have you heard about it? Are people talking about it?
I heard you mention a little bit about something about lowering the flag, and it wasn't. That was a presidential order.
Is that right?
The president ordered the lowering of the flags. The president of the United States,
Countrywide?
nationwide,
Nationwide.
and then he
Countrywide,
sent Air Force 2 with the vice president
to get the body.
to go get the body,
Yeah,
fly
take
to
him back to
Texas, fly
Arizona.
the family to Texas, do all-
Arizona.
or Arizona, wherever it is, and do all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so much for
Daniel,
cost reduction and worrying about what we're spending, because that Air Force 2 costs almost as much as Air Force 1.
Yeah.
And it probably costs $100,000 just to, or more to just take it,
Yeah.
have it take off.
Daniel-
Because then you've got another plane, cargo plane that carries the cars and the Suburban and all that behind them.
Daniel Petrie wants to go to the Dodger game with us too.
Oh,
Yeah, he just
have
tried.
Petrie by then.
True that, Daniel. You step up. He's a Red Sox fan. I don't know why he wants to go to a Giant game.
You know,
guys
Giants.
are
You know,
certain.
the Giants are coming back.
You
here a
might
little
make
bit.
the playoffs.
I checked. They're 2 games out, I think, today.
Yeah, you might screw around and we'll make the playoffs.
Wouldn't it be something though if the Dodgers didn't win the division?
We might not. We're in trouble.
Your team that was supposed to go 162-0.
That's right.
And are they going to win 90 games?
Michael, do you want me to read you something? Let me read you something. So you just
I
understand.
got to gloat a little bit,
Let me
Ralph,
just read you something.
because
so
you're
you
such a prognosticator, and you said 162-0. I should have bet you $100.
Let me just read you something. Let me just read you something real quick. Injuries have also hampered the continuity of the bullpen time and again this season. Hard-throwing right-hander Michael Kopech been limited to 10 appearances because of arm and knee troubles. Left-handed stalwart Alex Vesia, who pitched last night, has missed the last 2 weeks with an oblique strain. The team's only notable trade deadline reliever acquisition, Brock Stewart, made just 4 outings before going down with a shoulder injury. Evan Phillips is already out for the year with Tommy John surgery. It's unclear if Brusdar Graterol will return from a shoulder procedure in time to pitch at all this year. No team has been decimated by injuries like the Dodgers, and yet we are still spanking that Padre behind, and we're still outdistancing your stinky, smelly, god-awful Giants, despite the list of injuries that I just documented. But
Ralph,
that
everybody has injuries, Ralph. All teams. It's like last year. Look at the 49ers injuries and what they had when you lose 5 of your best starters missed a cool of
well,
about.
it's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
We keep winning though. That's the difference.
Because you got the money, just keep buying players.
Oh, who cares? So do the Yankees. So do a lot of teams. Don't give me that money.
I don't
crap.
think the Yankees are spending money like they used to.
Well, then that's their fault. Don't give me that money crap. No, that's a bunch of nonsense. What did you want to talk about today? Did you want to get on Charlie Kirk?
No, I've heard enough Charlie Kirk. It's a terrible, terrible thing that it's amazing what he accomplished at such a young age and his turning point and what he was politically able to do. And maybe, just maybe, got Trump elected.
Oh, no question. He swung the vote in Arizona. There's no question.
But his young vote nationwide and getting this young movement of the Republican Party with Turning Point and everything, he was a very significant political player. So the next question for Turning Point is, who is the next Charlie Kirk?
Oh, there is no next Charlie Kirk.
People always
That's
say,
like-
who's going to be the next Trump? Maybe there's
There
not
is
going
no
to be
next Trump.
There is no next Trump.
There's no next Kennedy. There's no next Bobby Kennedy. There's no next Martin Luther King. There's no next Malcolm. You know, at every movement that gets snuffed by an assassination, they're looking for the next one to fill those shoes, and it just can't be done. Because if it would have been done, it would have been done. You know, there's nobody like this kid. I read his bio. Like I said yesterday, he was 16 years old, involved in the U.S. Senate race. Like, how many teenagers have you ever met in your life that get involved actively in a Senate race? Then his senior year, he didn't like the prices of the cafeteria, and he led a revolt and got them changed. Now, that might seem silly, but when you're in high school, to be that engaged, because what kid likes, no kid I've ever met likes cafeteria food or how much it costs, but this kid actually did something about it. That's what his life was all about. That's what we should be celebrating. He started Turning Point when he was 19 years old. He died 31 years old with the ear of the President of the United States. Yeah. I've never heard of that, Mike. I've never heard of a kid 31 years old who's palling around with the leader of the free world. The kid could have been President of the United States one day. And you know, he's a college dropout who just said, I'm smarter than this. I don't need this. And I can do this. I can make my movement without the college education, and totally dropped out. He didn't even do a year in college. It's amazing.
Yeah. You don't need a college education. Politics is politics.
Yeah.
I mean, the rules of the game are the rules of the game. It's like playing baseball. You don't have to go to college and play 4 years of college baseball to play in the major leagues, because there's kids come out of high school, sign the major league contracts, and in a year or two they're playing in the majors.
Yeah.
The really good ones.
And I thought he said some goofy things. Goofy things. But you got to keep your mouth shut. We're all on one team here at American General Media. But I didn't always agree with him at all. He was a very opinionated young man. Tell me something we don't know, Mike Turnipseed.
Tell me something you don't know. Well, the city's having a press conference tomorrow to take on the sheriff about why we can't have some of the beds open at the Kern County Jail.
Expound, please.
Going back to when they built the new jail 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe a little longer, the county spent months figuring out how they're going to build this new jail, what we're going to do to replace the old Lerdo with the new Lerdo, and all the new facilities. It has to have mental health, all the labs, all this stuff. It was very expensive. It was a $140 million jail, of which the state of California paid $100. And every time there's a conversation, because of the decline in the oil industry was taking place, and their yearly revenues percentage-wise were going down.
Right.
I would get up and I would ask the question. There's no question you can build it. How are you going to staff it? I asked that question. If I asked it at a board meeting 5 times, if I asked it once.
And what has been their response?
Never got an answer.
What do you mean?
Oh, there was an answer. And the sheriff said, We'll worry about that when the time comes. Well, it's been open now for all these years, and we're still worrying about it. Now, did we know there'd be COVID? No. Did we know there's other problems? No. Did we know the oil problem got worse than anybody ever imagined, and the decline in revenue and how it affected the county? No. But these are unseen circumstances. The sheriff is trying to do the best he can do with what he's got. But the Board of Supervisors has no control over the sheriff. They have one thing. They give him the money. The sheriff sits down with the county of Kern and they negotiate a budget, and he gets his budget. And once he gets it, he spends it the way he wants. He controls his budget. The Board of Supervisors have absolutely no say over anything he spends money on.
Thank you, Jesus. That's a great thing.
It's not just him. Any of the officials that are elected, the Kern County treasurer, tax collector, the assessor, there's 5 positions that are elected countywide. The auditor, controller, the sheriff, they're elected countywide. They're the same thing because they're the same principle. They are elected countywide by the people. They are elected and technically got more votes than any of the supervisors will ever get, because the supervisors only get 1/5 of the vote because they have 1/5 of the population.
Stop banging on the table, would you please?
Okay.
Microphone.
I'm giving a lecture here.
So what is the news conference about tomorrow? What are they going to say?
I don't really know what they're going to say. I just got a email from Clegg this morning saying we're going to have a press conference.
What time?
9 o'clock, which I thought was a bad time because usually that's when the TV stations are having their assignments in the old days, pre-COVID. I don't know when they do them now, but it'll be interesting to see how this goes up, and if it's, but they're going to do it at 9 o'clock. 2 years ago, right about now, we had a meeting. I called the county CAO, and I said, I need to talk to you and the people about this jail situation, because the city's been complaining for a long time because all these people are just getting let go back on the streets. It's been a problem for the last, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
And so we had a meeting. I mean, the sheriff was there, district attorney was there, the presiding judge was there from Superior Court, probation was there. It was really a high level meeting that lasted, supposed to last for an hour, and it lasted over 2 hours about how do we fix this problem. And there were some, I will say, promises made. We'll look at this and we'll look at that. But it really hasn't changed because the economic situation of the county has changed. It's gotten worse instead of gotten better.
Yeah.
So they're facing challenges, and you can't spend money you don't have.
So what's the issue? There's just no staffing.
As the sheriff said, it's recruiting staffing is a problem. It's not, and he has funded positions now he can't fill. So it's, they have to go through academies and they have to be trained and they have to do all these things. And it's, people just are staying away from law enforcement.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be.
Despite all the enticements that they've thrown out there, the bonuses, the housing,
Yeah. Those actually are people who are already here. They'll say, we'll give you $10,000 or $15,000 to go rent a house in Boron. If you go, we'll pay your rent if you go to Boron and live there.
Who wants to go to Boron?
Who wants to go to Boron?
Is this statewide or is this us?
I think recruitment for law enforcement is a problem. Police statewide is a problem.
Nationwide?
Probably nationwide too.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone through defund the cops. We've gone through the whole Floyd thing and everything that goes on, and police aren't necessarily respected as much as they were. And a lot of people say, why do I want to go there? And now people spit on me and throw rocks at me and bottles and do that.
It'll be interesting to see what happens to New York, although it could take some time. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The election of Mamdani,
Yeah,
the communist, the democratic socialist, but I call him a
he
communist.
hasn't won yet.
You don't think he's going to win?
I said he hasn't won yet.
What, you think Andrew Cuomo's going to beat him?
Well, not.
I could beat Andrew Cuomo. I'm serious.
Ralph. Okay, Ralph.
I could beat Andrew Cuomo. And even a communist could beat Andrew Cuomo. He's a horrible human being and was a horrible governor who killed people during COVID and ain't right. He's a dishonest. He's worse than his brother. And to think that those two came from Mario Cuomo.
Yep.
Now, granted, I was a liberal Democrat at the time, but I loved me some Mario Cuomo. He broke my heart when he didn't run for president. Broke my heart. I thought he was the most articulate, the smartest governor I ever saw, and pretty good baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's in Ken Burns' documentary on baseball.
I don't remember that. I've watched that a couple
Yes,
times.
he's in it, where they talked
But
about
Ken Burns' baseball thing takes you like 3 months to see it.
it's like
'cause
seven or 8 episodes.
of like 3 hours each.
Yeah, but he's in it. He's in it, and he talks
It's
about
amazing history. Everybody should watch his video. I mean, they are so perfect. They're
yeah,
so,
they are.
No matter what the subject is,
Yep.
he tells the story of Civil War, the Depression, Vietnam. If you want to learn the real history, go on public television and watch Ken Burns.
I concur. But he's in it, and he talks about how he reads his own player personnel report, how he was a leader. It's weird how the scout said he's a natural leader. Guys look up to him. He's a defensive gem, but much like Ralph Bailey, he can't hit a curveball, and he's hitting like 240, and he never made it. And he talks about, he's in the documentary, and he talks about, I met this woman named Matilda and realized that I had to make a living to support this beautiful woman, and somehow got into politics. And he broke my heart when he didn't run.
He became governor of New York.
Yes, sir. How he gave birth to these two idiots, Chris and Andrew, who I'll never know, but there's no way. Mamdani is going to be the next mayor of New York. There's no question about that. Well, if we can't go.
So who be the post Mondavi or whatever it is? Not Mondavi, yeah. Mamdani. Just like Rudy Giuliani came in after the disastrous mayor before, or Bloomberg came in after somebody, and they've always kind of wake up and
look
say,
out for Lee Zeldin, because the pendulum's going to swing. New Yorkers are going to realize you can't have government-run grocery stores. You can't have no cash bail. You can't have guys, as we found out in North Carolina, sign promises to return to prison to court and let them free. You just can't. And it'll take a while. It'll take 2 or 3 years for New Yorkers to realize that our city's gone to hell, but it will go to hell, led by a communist. I can guarantee you that.
But the problem nationwide is people are letting people go. North Carolina is not a bastion of liberalism.
I don't think his crimes were all committed in North Carolina.
Where's the stabbing?
The stabbing took place in Charlotte,
And
but I don't
the
think
guy just stabs the gal. The gal sits down in front of me.
slit her throat. She gets on. She's coming from work from a pizza joint. He's sitting in a seat
behind her,
and she just happens to sit in front of him.
He opens the
And
knife,
within 30 seconds, he slits her throat. And the worst part, have you seen the entire video? People saw it happen, and got up and walked right past her. And then finally, apparently, somebody's seen the video where somebody tried to stop the bleeding, but you know, it's like getting shot in the neck. Yeah, there's no stopping the bleeding. Well, if we can't go to a Giant game, let's play golf Saturday. I'm healthy. Come on, let's get some exercise. Let's go. Beautiful weekend. Let's go.
We'll see.
All right. That means yes. And we go to Pyrenees, watch some college football. Let's go. Quick timeout. Mike Turnipseed, everybody. No time when we get back. But Daniel Petrie comes up after the second break. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, man, I'm healthy.
96.1 and AM
On the
1180
allopurinol, too.
KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey from Sangera
Look at that.
Subaru. One of the best things I admire about Subaru,
Wait,
how
hold on,
they give
hold on.
back to our community.
Still
And the
hurts.
start of the school year is the perfect
couldn't do that
time
a
to
week ago.
recognize our teachers and principals with
leg.
Subaru's VIP
I sat on this
Educator
leg all
Program.
day.
Now, through October 31st at Sangera Subaru, teachers,
I know,
principals,
neither have
or
I. Let's go.
assistants
I'm gonna
of
steam it up. I'm
pre-K
gonna
through
shoot
12th
100,
grade
I don't give a
are
damn.
eligible to receive
I'm gonna eat the
$500 off the purchase or lease of a brand new Subaru.
No,
That's right.
no,
$500
no.
in savings plus
I don't
utilizing
care. I'll
Subaru's
make
monthly
sevens all
sales
day. I
incentive.
don't give a
So,
damn.
if you're a
I just
teacher,
wanna
principal,
be on-
or
I have
assistant,
not played
call
in
Sangera
3.5
Subaru
months.
at 661-836-3737
the
or stop
last
by and
time.
see my
I
dear
went
friends
almost 4
Damon
months
Culbertson and Hassan Levy. The whole Subaru team is ready to
I got
help,
that
but it's
brand new
only
damn
good
putter
through
that I used
October 31st. Sangera
was
Subaru,
just starting
paving
to
the
play
way
well.
for a
I
better
really
community.
was.
Offer available
I
August 1st through October
posted
31st. Is subject to change. Cannot be combined with any other VIP programs. But can be combined with retailer or consumer incentives. This
And I
offer
was
applies to active
just
classroom teachers,
starting to
principals,
get
and vice
it.
principals at pre-K through 12 schools.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
I
If
still
you're
say I
driving a
could go
car or
out
truck
right
with
now
an
and shoot.
expired warranty and suddenly
I'll
lost
bet
your
you lunch
transmission or needed a full
that I
engine
break
repair, would a $4,000
92.
repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose
After
the
not
company
playing for
I
4
trust.
months?
Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years
And
old,
then I'll swing
Endurance
easy
offers
'cause my
auto
ankle
protection
hurts.
plans for
That's what
any
I think.
budget. Protection
And I do
on the
play well when I
drivetrain,
haven't played in a
electrical,
while.
transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance
Yeah,
and rental
if you
car
start thinking
reimbursement
about it,
on any plan.
I'll just be so damn
Endurance
happy to
handles
be out
everything,
there.
from making the claim to paying the
Hopefully run
certified
into
mechanic
Paul,
of your
see
choice.
Jen and
Act
all the
now and get
boys.
one full
I've been out
year
there
of
and
elite
they must
benefits,
think I'm
a
dead.
$2,000 value, free.
This guy gets 4
Call for your
plays a
fast
month
free
and he
quote
doesn't even
today.
come
Call
out here.
800-298-2007.
Who gets to play at a
That's
country club for free and not show up?
800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Yeah,
Now,
he is.
back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1
And Zucchini
AM
can't play
1180
because he broke his rib.
KERN.
He's 4 Want to thank Mike Turnipseed, despite being a god-awful, sticky, smelly, god-awful orange and black-wearing Giant fan, who are on the surge. They really, really are. They're playing good baseball right now. But it's going to be interesting. Just
Up like 5 games.
I know. You're playing well. You're playing well. Call me with a tea time or where we're sitting at Dodger Stadium. Speaking of Dodger Stadium, the guy that wants to go with us joins us next. Despite the fact that he's a Red Sox fan, I don't know why he wants to go to beautiful Dodger Stadium. And Daniel Petrie was somewhere familiar to me, and I can't remember where it was. We'll find out. He posted it on Facebook with his lovely wife, and I cannot remember for the life of me. We'll find out after these important words. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The shooter who assassinated conservative activist Charlie Kirk and then vanished off a roof and into the woods is still at large more than 24 hours later. Federal investigators appealed Thursday for the public's help by releasing a pair of photos of the person believed responsible. Americans have marked 24 years since the September 11, 2001 attacks with solemn ceremonies, volunteer work, and other tributes honoring the victims. At the World Trade Center site in New York City, the nearly 3,000 victims' names were read aloud Thursday. At the Pentagon in Virginia, a memorial service honored the 184 service members and civilians killed, and near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, a similar ceremony honored the victims of Flight 93. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. Several sections of Bakersfield have been affected by power outages. The outages reported this morning on PG&E's website. Over 10,000 power customers were impacted from sections of northeast Bakersfield to east and south Bakersfield. The cause of the outage is unknown. There may still be outages to deal with, but power was expected to be back on by 12:30 this afternoon. Several local officials have expressed grief over the shooting death of Charlie Kirk, a popular leader in the youth conservative movement. Charlie had been scheduled to make an appearance with Megyn Kelly at Dignity Health Arena next month. Both Republicans and Democrats in Kern County have expressed support for Kirk online. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Please meet Paul Sheldon's client, Marilyn Bull.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Bull. I heard of Paul Sheldon through my husband. So when I retired, I decided I'm going to go to him too. And I'm very pleased. The experience with Paul Sheldon has been great. Every question you asked, he had an answer for. He was patient and explained everything to where you could understand it. So I'm glad I had him to go to because otherwise I would be confused. I would recommend Paul Sheldon to anybody because it is so much easier to go there and have someone actually show you and explain to you what your options are. And when you leave there, if you still didn't quite understand, you can always call and even make an appointment with you and rediscuss the whole thing. I also have recommended it to my sister. Thank you, Paul Sheldon, for all your help, and I wouldn't know what to do without you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
It's the JR Show. Have you guys been down California Avenue lately between Real Road and Stockdale? My goodness, the construction is an absolute mess. You can't get in and out of businesses during certain times. It rotates. Nobody is notifying anybody about when roads are going to be open. The city has dropped the ball on this. Seriously, it took me 15 minutes just to get home from work. I live right across the street. I could have walked home faster. And the worst part is, it's going to last till the end of October.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
It's a Thursday. Time to head to 21st and Oak, the offices of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Daniel Petrie. You want to go to a Dodger game?
It's a baseball game.
That's uncharacteristic of a Red Sox fan.
I've actually been to a couple Dodger games in the past year, 2 years.
Where were you when you posted a picture? Because it has something to do with me, and I can't remember where you were, but somehow. Where were you? You and your lovely wife.
When?
Where were you?
Was it recent?
Yes.
A wedding?
But where were you?
That was in Rancho Palos Verdes.
That's where you were, Palos Verdes.
Uh-oh.
We used to live up there. My parents lived up there.
It's a nice area.
That's what jogged my memory. We were in PV, not Rancho PV, but Upper PV above Palos Verdes Drive.
It's all beautiful.
Oh, it's my favorite part of Los Angeles. It's for a lot of folks don't get to get out there, but it is the single most beautiful place in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, my parents moved out there my senior year in high school, so I basically got to live there for like a year.
It is kind of out of the way, unless
it's
you're
totally out of the way.
Going there.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
If you're out on the peninsula, you live there. You know what I'm saying? People don't want
its own world.
Yeah, you don't wander out. It's peninsula. It's sticking out off the ocean. There's no reason for you to be out there.
Privileged to be there.
It really is. And I'm telling you, it was great. The police, I loved it. The police knew me because I was involved in Little League out there. And a lot of the cops were coaches.
Yeah.
So they would see you in the streets and it was a quaint, fun community.
I had a few Facebook people say, "Oh, that's where I grew up," or "That's where I lived," or "That's this and that," and I'm like, "Oh, I never knew that."
1600 Via Barcelona.
Yeah.
Loved it. I used to before every sporting event, I would go out on the balcony and eat my honey and toast and look at Catalina Island on a clear day. It is just gorgeous. Rolling Hills, Rancho PV. The whole South Bay, all the beaches are my favorite beaches. Hermosa, Redondo, Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
I should have told you to go to Tony's Fish Market in Redondo Beach. Best fish place in LA. Best
Helps put things in perspective.
Yeah. So who's getting married? Not that it's any of our business.
My niece, my wife's, well, it's my niece by marriage, but my wife's niece, my wife's brother's oldest daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
So were you the only Caucasian in the room?
No, there were a few.
I'm just messing with you.
It is always funny though. My father-in-law had a big birthday party recently because he's, getting up there.
Right.
And I spoke and I said, for some might think I'm an outsider when I'm married into the family, although I can't figure out why. And
did I get a nice laugh?
Yeah, I heard a few rumbles.
That's funny.
Of course, I think I was the only. Was I the only white person at that event?
Yeah, probably.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't keep track of that stuff.
How long y'all been married now?
Oh my. I'm supposed to know this off the
Yeah,
top of my head.
yes, you are. You better hope your wife's not listening, boy.
I
Good
told her to
googly
not
moogly.
listen. 27 years now.
Wow.
27 years, Ralph Bailey.
That's pretty impressive, Jack.
It's not bad.
That's you doggone Skippy.
Yeah.
Googly moogly. My parents were married for 34 years.
Yeah,
when
my
my
parents
dad
were
passed.
married for a very long time as well.
Yeah. It's the way it used to be in America. Not anymore. 50
It's different. Out of the 9, let's see, remember I'm one of 9 children, so
right.
There have been is it just one? I think one divorce.
Just one out of the 9?
Out of the 9 of us.
That's pretty good numbers.
Not bad.
It's been my understanding, and this isn't, there are always, exceptions to the rule, but people that are raised by 2 parents that stay together tend to get married and stay together.
Yeah, they seem to have a more stable core, or
Yeah.
they realize it's not all puppy dogs and fairy tales
Right.
and rainbows. I mean,
Right.
you deal with it. Yeah.
When you see that mom and dad fought and yet still stayed together, I think that gives you the idea that it's going to be tough, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, it's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only saw my parents, there were 2 huge fights, and I only saw my mother. She packed a bag one night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That was a doozy.
That was a good one.
That was scary.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
As a child, like, what's going on?
Oh, it was. I think I was about 15, 16. So I was starting to mature and could understand what was going on.
Yeah.
And the fight started right after dinner.
Uh-oh.
And then I went down. I remember, like I said, went down and did my homework and came up to get something to eat. Growing boy, still after dinner.
Of
Still,
course, we ate every 2 or 3 hours.
exactly. And it was still going on.
Uh-oh.
So then I crept down as I was wont to do.
Yeah.
And
Speak and listen. Yeah.
down in the hallway and eavesdropped. And I just remember him saying, "Just put the bag away, Harriet."
Oh,
And I was
Mom
like,
had enough.
"What? The bag is out?" That's
Yeah.
how I knew she had
What bag?
a
Yeah.
suitcase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the one time. But she did not leave that night, and the bag was put away. Thank you, Jesus.
My mom told me once, I wasn't around, but she goes, your father shut the door and went for a walk.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I can't deal with this. I've had enough. I have to,
Yeah.
But that was Dad's way to deal with it. He just give me some time.
Yeah, my dad was pretty agreeable. He would
Yeah.
go along to get along. He was
Yeah.
not a typical Leo like my mother and I.
Yeah, Mom was a little feisty.
Yeah, my mother too. My
yeah.
mother too. She
It's
could
funny.
be,
My wife is more, let's get this solved and do it now. And, I'm very analytical. I'm like, I have to think about this. In about 30 minutes, I'll come up with a good response. Just
right,
leave me alone.
right.
And if you keep pushing me, it's like I don't. You're forcing me into a do or die corner. Why do you keep doing that?
Yeah. My dad did not like to argue.
Yeah.
He was not an arguer, but my mother and I are both arguers.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little difficult.
It is. I have a brother who is currently walking the Pacific Coast Trail, believe it or not.
Is that right?
And I got to pick him up here in a couple days. near, beyond Lake Isabella where it crosses the 178.
Really?
He's been doing it for, oh my gosh, a couple months now, I think.
Where did he start?
Oh, he started up in Northern California. I
That's
think he's done about
crazy.
500 miles, yeah.
Wow.
4 or 5 different supply stops and by himself. That's what got me. I mean, I'm like, well, what if you have a heart attack or a mountain lion attacks you?
No kidding.
You're kind of nuts. But he's a little outdoorsy.
Where does he sleep?
I think he packs like a little pup tent. He
And
just
sleeps outside.
sleeps on the ground. Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
I know. He is a little bit of a liberal, though, so I'm hoping
Well,
we
of
don't
course
get
he
into it
is.
over politics.
Oh, of
'cause
course he is.
I don't want to argue.
He's out there eating bark, probably. Good,
I've told
mojo.
him a couple times, like, can we just not, please?
Yeah. Don't bring
because he's
up.
analytical and very determined, like I am, and I'm like, I don't want to go. And he'll listen. He'll say, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, you're not going to change my. And especially with what's going on recently,
Yeah.
it's bothering me quite a bit. For some reason, I'm not always in touch with my feelings or can understand it well. But for some reason, this is affecting me. So I know it's got to be bigger than I'm able to. I don't know. Understand.
Me too. It really has disturbed me.
Yes.
And like I said, now that Mr. Kirk is no longer on our team, I can admit that I didn't like a lot of the things that he said. I think a lot of his positions were wacky, cuckoo,
Right.
nutsy, cuckoo. And some of the comments that he's made about women, some of the comments that he's made about the LGBTQ community, and some comments that he's made about blacks. This thing that he said, I saw a black pilot when I was getting on the plane, and I was just praying that he was that he had
Qualified,
the gifts.
basically,
Yeah, that he was
yeah.
qualified. Yeah, I was like, what? What the hell?
Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
But this is bigger than that.
Yeah.
This is much bigger than that.
Yeah.
I felt the same way when Josh Shapiro, a Democrat's house, got burned down with his wife and family in it.
Yeah,
That's crazy. And I don't agree with Josh Shapiro just about anything that comes out of his pie hole, but I would never ever take a shot at him. And I don't know. I don't know.
I don't understand how we've gotten here, but I don't quite understand how we stop it. It just seems to be getting worse and worse.
That's what I said yesterday. I think it's irreparable. I really do. I think we're on a downward spiral. And until you know what it's going to take? It's going to take, I wouldn't say a 9/11 per se, but it's going to take us against them. It's going to take some kind of
to bring us America.
Yes,
kind of
some
thing.
kind of we've got to defend our country in some way.
Well, I hope it.
And I don't mean necessarily a war, but maybe some, Putin's throwing drones at Poland, a NATO country. So
right, something.
Who
something
knows
to
what might
unify
happen?
us.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that would do it. But
yeah.
Do you feel like? I mean, I've heard the hyperbole that we're in a spiritual war or a political war, and and I'm like, okay, you're just trying to gain attention by saying that, but I'm starting to wonder that maybe we are, and I just haven't realized it yet. And
I don't know.
And yet I don't think. I mean, I try to be too. Maybe I'm too positive that I'm like, well, we can't be there. But then I see some of these statements. I'm like, how in the world are they that out of touch?
Yeah. We hate each other, basically. I don't think I've ever lived in my lifetime where Americans hate one another.
Yeah, it's almost like we see more what divides us than brings us together.
You can get eliminated by simply saying who you voted for. You can be
Which is
eliminated.
sad.
All you have to do is walk in a room and say, I voted for Kamala, and that group might hate you, or you say that I voted for Trump, and that group hates you. Doesn't want to talk to you. Doesn't want to be with you. I see women on dating sites who one of the last things they'll say is, and no Trumpers.
Wow.
And it's like, really? Wow.
Like, and then what I don't understand about those people is how do you just, in my world, it's like they're casting off half the population.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, how do
exactly.
you-
Half
how
the
do you do
country.
that?
Half
I
the
mean,
country.
so
And I've
if
dated
you
girls.
help with your car and abandoned out in the middle of nowhere, and if they're on the wrong political spectrum, you won't take their help. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
I have dated when I was dating a 31-year-old when I was in my 50s. She was an anti-Trumper, But that's what I found attractive about her, was the fact that she knew who I was and what I stood for, and she didn't give a damn.
Right.
And we would talk about, we would argue about, not in a mean-spirited way, but we would talk about it. And that was, I found that really attractive in this young
it's
young
rare
girl.
these days,
Yeah, particularly at that age, to be that open-minded at 31.
Yeah.
So when the Sam Hill is Jerome Powell going to get off his arse and drop these rates?
Well, the next Fed meeting is this month, so they will do it then.
You think?
It's pretty much completely priced in. It would be a shock, and dare I say partisan, if he didn't do it.
Could he go to a half point, or is that crazy?
No, there is a small possibility of that, but very rare for them to do it, that way. They'll try to make up an extra quarter point later, I think, but it's not crazy, but it's pretty close.
What's your take on the bad job numbers?
Yeah, I think boy, it's so hard to get a grasp of what's going on there. It's I can't. I mean, I have my opinions, but I think some of it is just half that. I don't quite know. I do think the Fed won't just do one and done. I think they're going to cut 2, 3, 4 times at least to try to help get us where we need to be. And even if the economy is rolling over pretty hard, I think that will help the market. We did get a surprise on the debt. And
really?
Not a good one. Not a good one, though.
Oh, it's up?
The debt went up about $150 billion this week.
From 29?
Yes. And for the life of me, Ralph, at first I thought I made a mathematical error. I'm like, wait, what did I do here? Why? And I'm like, no. And I've rechecked, and I can't find out why. But
$150 billion.
Yes. We are at almost 37.5 now. And the last time we did it, we were at 37.3.
Yeah.
I don't know what has happened, but of course gold is up, new high yesterday, early this morning. We're at 36.35 when I checked, and silver's up over $1 at 41.60.
Wow.
Gold's up about 2.5% for the week.
Wow.
So I don't know what caused that spike, but that's the biggest we have seen since you and I started looking at this week by week.
We are in the process, if we haven't already done so, eliminating the middle class. There's going to be rich, there's going to be,
I would agree with that,
extremely rich, and then there's going to be poor. There's going to be the working poor.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next inflation scare is just going to exacerbate.
Yep. Right around Christmas time. Isn't that wonderful?
It is sad, and I think that adds a lot to the political climate.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It makes those without more angry and wanting someone to blame, and it makes those who are okay wonder what the big deal is.
So what's next? I'll leave you with that. What's next? Tell us, just generally speaking, over the next couple of months.
In what way? You mean?
Once Powell lowers these rates and we get rolling, what's going to happen? What do you see? Is there a possibility of a recession in 26?
Yes, I think there will be.
Really?
I think the market will be good for a little while longer. It could even last into the first quarter next year. But I am thinking that there will be some pretty bad headwinds, both for the economy and the market next year.
And is that based on tariffs?
A lot of it, I think, is just based in my view. Tariffs are a part of it, but I think anything Trump has done, even if it helps, it's just marginal, and even if it hurts, it's just marginal. I think a lot of this has to do with decades of problems that we have not addressed.
Yeah.
And it's finally going to come to the
chickens have come home to roost.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It really
is sad, and I hope the bad times aren't marked by more of the crap we already see, because it's so bad now.
Yeah.
Because think about it, as bad as it feels right now, the market's near all-time highs. People are some are hurting, but doing okay. How bad will it be when things are in dire straits?
Yeah. Well said.
Hopefully we don't get there.
Yeah. What do you got?
I got a little question for Daniel.
You got a question for you, D?
Yes, sir.
I had a caller call in and ask what your thoughts are on the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac stocks.
God, I haven't heard those words in a long time.
Somebody's asked that before, I think. I wonder if it's the same caller. Let's see. The Fannie Mae stock has done pretty darn well, but I certainly would not own those just because housing prices seem to be sliding a little bit. I don't know if it's because there's an oversupply. I'm no mortgage expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think if the economy rolls over and the market rolls over, which will happen, I don't know how long it'll take for that to happen, but my belief is it'll happen, and I wouldn't want to hold those in that environment.
Yeah. All right, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Always great to talk to you. And if Turnip Seed gets the ticks, I'll give you a call.
Yeah. I guess if he does it and he buys one for me as well, then I'll split it with him.
All right, very good.
Okay.
Talk to you next week.
Be well, Ralph. Have
You
a good
too.
weekend.
You
Thank
too.
you, sir. Bye.
Daniel Petrie with Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. His phone number is 395-9400, 395-9400. His office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. We must step aside. We'll come back. We got a pretty good football game tonight. And yes, I put a couple of wagers on it. I'll tell you what I took, who I believe in, what I need. Then we'll get into the 5 o'clock hour. You'll hear from Jeremy Tobias. Their Cap K food drive was a tremendous success. And we'll get into DeCarlos Brown Jr., the man that is accused of killing the 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee on a Charlotte train. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KRN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Friday edition, Clay and Buck. It's been a very, very tough week. We will update you with the absolute latest on the Charlie Kirk assassination and the pursuit of his killers and the attempts to bring them to justice. Plus, Buck.
We'll bring you a look ahead at how a lot of our conservative brothers and sisters in the media are planning to continue the discussion and debate that Charlie stood for on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every
What
time
is
you
it,
get gas.
Megalopolis?
That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation.
No, I don't
later
wanna
this
see it.
year.
Download the free Upside app
Yeah,
now
well,
to
no,
earn
I gotta,
cash back every time you buy gas. Use
I don't
promo
get
code
whatever the fuck
PARTY5
it's
to get up
on.
to a $5
So I have to
bonus on your
watch it
first
at 9
tank. You
o'clock
can cash
on
out
fucking
anytime right to your bank,
NFL channel.
PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and
Yeah.
other brands. Just download the free
Which
Upside
sucks
app and
is
use
there's no
promo
value
code
game.
PARTY5 to get up
So
to a
I'll
$5
watch-
bonus on your first
well,
tank.
I'll
That's
watch-
code PARTY5 to get
Pardon
up
the
to a
interruption,
$5
till
bonus
7,
on your first tank.
And I watch my girlfriend
Hi, I'm
Abby
Rick Sorcy,
Phillip till
certified
about
kitchen and bath
8:30.
designer and owner of Stockdale
And yeah, I
Kitchen
just
and
gotta
Bath.
wait
When
till
it comes
9.
to remodeling
Yeah.
your kitchen or bathroom, you deserve a process that's personal, precise, and as stress-free as possible. That's why I personally design every project with you using state-of-the-art three-dimensional software so you can see exactly what your new space will look like even before construction begins. No guesswork, no surprises, just a clear vision brought to life. And I believe in guiding you through every step of the process. I shop with you, cabinets, countertops, fixtures, so you get the perfect combination of style and function. We work with top quality American-made cabinet brands like Waypoint, Diamond, medallion to ensure long-lasting beauty and craftsmanship. If you're ready to turn your vision into reality, let's design something amazing together. Call Stockdale Kitchen and Bath at 661-834-3333 or visit StockdaleKitchenandBath.com today. Stockdale Kitchen and Bath. Beautiful cabinetry, smart design.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. 842-5376, 842-KERN. We got a couple of minutes before we get to the top of the hour. Who you got?
Nick from SSD Alarm is on the line.
Nick Mialopoulos. Nick, what's really going on?
You got it, Ralph. I feel so honored that you now have memorized my last name pronunciation.
And JR and I are both wearing your 9/11 t-shirts today, by the way.
Oh, awesome. I hope you're not swimming in it too much.
No, it
man.
fits perfectly. It fits perfectly.
Oh,
Thanks.
Fantastic. I love that. Well, hey, I wanted to personally thank you for yesterday. We had such a great turnout today.
Oh, that's
and I
outstanding.
think it's partially because of your show in the community putting the word out. And we fed over 700 first responders today.
Wow.
Complimentary Salty's barbecue. And so, man, it was, we were shooting for 500 and hitting that 700 mark makes me think, we're already starting to bump around maybe 1,000 next year. So
That's outstanding.
Bakersfield Police, Kern County Sheriff, CHP, we had Kern County Fire, Bakersfield Fire, just fire trucks, police vehicles all in there. And gosh, we were just slinging barbecue. We had Jeff Salter sweating a little bit. We 500 the trailer out, and it was about noon. We said, we're going to need a couple hundred more, Jeff. We need to pull some more birds from the stores. I hope we didn't sell out all of his stores today.
Oh, that's outstanding. I'm glad to hear that, man. You're doing great work. Keep it up. Thanks for calling. Let us know how it went. And anytime you guys got something going on, just let us know.
You got it, man. I'll catch you later.
All right, man. Have a good weekend. That's our man from SSD Alarm. They had their 23rd annual Hero Appreciation event yesterday, and as you heard, it went extremely well. We head into the final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 11th day of September, a date which will live in infamy, as Franklin Roosevelt said after the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. That's a pretty equivalent event that I thought we'd never see something like that in our lifetime. Just an amazing, startling day where this country really just came to a stop. You're listening to TRBS. I would stick around if you. I don't feel like walking.
1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Political analyst Matthew Dowd is fired for his commentary on Charlie Kirk's death.
Dowd was a political analyst at MSNBC. He said shortly after the shooting death of the conservative activist Charlie Kirk that he was a divisive figure. MSNBC said Dowd, a paid political analyst, is no longer with the network. Both MSNBC presidents Rebecca Cutler and Dowd issued public apologies following his commentary. Dowd said Kirk is, quote, constantly sort of pushing the sort of hate speech aimed at certain groups. Dowd added that he thinks hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which lead to hateful actions. I'm Haya Panjwani.
Meanwhile, security experts are questioning the protection provided to Charlie Kirk at the Utah College where he was fatally shot. The shooting happened Wednesday during an outdoor event at Utah Valley University. Campus Police Chief Jeff Long said 6 officers staffed the event and coordinated with Kirk's security team. While the gunman remained at large Thursday, experts criticized the lack of perimeter security and the decision to hold the event outdoors. Hundreds of detained South Korean workers are heading home.
A plane carrying more than 300 workers from South Korea who were detained during an immigration raid on a battery factory in Georgia last week has now left Atlanta bound for South Korea. The detained workers had been held at an immigration detention center before being bused to Atlanta for their flight after their first scheduled flight was canceled amid questions on whether they would be leaving under voluntary departure or deportation. South Korea's president has urged the U.S. to improve its visa system. Lisa Dwyer.
On Wall Street, the Dow up by 617 points, the Nasdaq rose 157, the S&P advanced 55.
Watching Rob Finnerty on Newsmax. President Trump is. He even says Finnerty's show is so terrific. Millions are joining President Trump. Watch Finnerty every night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. All this week, Rob looks at the media's war on President Trump. Rob gives you the facts about the National Guard in cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. He tells you the real truth about the Jeffrey Epstein files, and he reveals the big media's agenda on Trump's health. You need to watch Rob Finnerty on Newsmax. Check out your local cable system. Newsmax is on all major systems. Or download the free Newsmax app. It costs you nothing, and you can watch in minutes. Finnerty is the fastest growing primetime news show in America. Find out why even President Trump is tuning in. More than 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for news they can trust. Because we are real news for real people.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. Several sections of Bakersfield have been affected by power outages. The outages reported this morning on PG&E's website. Over 10,000 power customers were impacted from sections of Northeast Bakersfield to East and South Bakersfield. The cause of the outage is unknown. There may still be outages to deal with. The power was expected to be back on by 12:30 this afternoon. The lack of jail bed space, a hot topic of conversation at Tuesday's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Ward 4 City Councilman Bob Smith highlighting the issue. Smith pointed out the challenges faced by law enforcement taking in repeat offenders only to see them back on the street on the same day. The Bakersfield police average 400 arrests per month, yet they only have 10 available beds. Staffing and money are a big problem. The Bakersfield Fire Department hosted the 9/11 memorial ceremony this morning. It was held at the fire station on Buena Vista Road. BFD says the ceremony was a time for reflection, unity, and gratitude. Police are asking the public's help to find a missing 67-year-old woman. Deborah Ingram is considered at risk due to medical conditions. She was last seen at Memorial Hospital at around 2:30 Wednesday morning near the 400 block of 34th Street. Ingram is about 5'3", 75 pounds with brown hair and eyes. Her picture is on Bakersfield Police social media. Anyone who knows anything is asked to give them a call. Several local officials have expressed grief over the shooting death of Charlie Kirk, a popular leader in the youth conservative movement. Charlie had been scheduled to make an appearance with Megyn Kelly at Dignity Health Arena next month. Both Republicans and Democrats in Kern County have expressed support for Kirk online. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Bada bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 11th day of September, 9/11/25, some 24 years ago. From that infamous, as I remember, it was either a Monday or a Tuesday. I know it was early in the week. I was a news director at Clear Channel Radio and thought the first was just some kind of weird, bizarre accident. And then when the second plane hit, we knew that this was
something a bit abnormal.
I'm
Something
seeing here it was on a
extremely-
Tuesday at 5:46 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. My shift was 5 to 9. And does it say when the second plane hit?
It does not, but I can look at it. Hold on.
Yeah. It was shortly thereafter, not a few minutes, but about a half an hour. And then Oliver North. Hey, speaking of Oliver North, God, I'm glad I stumbled staggeringly haphazardly into his name. Do you know that at 81 years old, and this is going to be beyond Chris because I don't even think he was alive during the Iran-Contra controversy, but not only did Oliver North get married at the age of 81, but for my fellow old folks who remember the Iran-Contra controversy, when Oliver North had to come forward and his secretary, Fawn, oh Lord, I forgot her name now, because I know a Fawn, and I don't want to use her last name. But hey Siri.
Fawn Hall.
Fawn Hall. Fawn Hall was his secretary. She's a beautiful young woman, and she had to testify because she was his secretary. And at 81 years old, he got married. Do you know who he married?
Fawn Hall.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yes.
Who else would you?
He
would you
married
go
Fawn
for?
Hall.
Yeah.
And apparently, they did not have a relationship when they were working together. They were both married. They both later got married, and they met at Oliver North's wife's funeral.
Huh.
And now they're married.
Huh.
He's 81, and I think she's like a little younger than I am. Hey Siri, how old is Fawn Hall?
Fawn Hall is 66.
She's 66. She's older than I am. But she married an 81-year-old man. Oliver North, a badass Marine. I don't know why. I found that absolutely fascinating. 81, you'd marry I don't know. Aren't you committing yourself to burying him at some point? But love conquers all. I mean, that's part of love. I bet she looks great at 66. She was a beautiful woman.
I was actually trying to find a picture of her right now, and I can't find any right now.
Of nothing present?
No.
That's too bad. Are there all the old pictures when she was hot as Irish mustard?
Yeah, it was all the stuff of them on trial and all that.
Yeah, she was a beautiful woman. Good googly moogly.
Also, second plane hit 19 minutes after the first one.
19 minutes? Yeah. It was a horrendous
So
morning.
6:05, something like that.
Yeah. And all that video is popping up now. This morning I saw it all. And last night I literally went to bed watching television. I could not do my ritual sitting, laying in my bed with
And
the
watch
lights
reels.
off and watching the reels. I couldn't.
Every reel I saw last night was Charlie.
Thank you. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Either old video or the ones that I saw were videos of that day.
Yeah.
And they would stop it. He answered a question about transgenderism and the recent shootings, and he put the mic down, and that's when he got shot. And that's where they stop it on some of them. Now, some of them, they didn't stop it. And I didn't need to see that again because I did want to see some of the background stuff they had where they put him in a SUV and tried to get him to a hospital. But he was technically dead before he hit the ground. You do not survive the next shot. You really don't. And they'll find this guy. Like I said, they'll find him by Friday or Saturday. They already have all kind of video on him. I just saw some video during one of the breaks of him walking through the neighborhood headed to the college. And he's got a decided limp. Now, I don't know if he's doing that to throw them off, but they've got a clear picture of them. And Chris says that they've identified him as well. The Green Bay Packers are about to take on the Washington Commanders. And since I still have some money in Undermine, Under Siege, Underwater, Under the Bridge, Under the Table, whatever, here's what I've gone with tonight, Chris.
Okay.
I need Deebo Samuel to rush one time.
Oh, okay.
Just one little reverse.
Okay.
They do it all the time. They put him in motion, and then they just turn and give it to him.
Oh, remember that
Boom.
he did that as a Niner and not necessarily as a Commander.
He did it twice last week.
Okay. That's good. Good bet then.
I got Jaden Reed to have 4 catches.
On Packers, right?
Yes, he led the
Okay.
team in catches last week.
Okay.
This is the one that could kill me. I got Jaden Daniels throwing for 229 yards.
Oh, I think that's good.
228.5 is the over.
Oh, no, 230 total.
229. 229 is what I need.
Only thing that'll fault that is Micah. If Micah Parsons can wreck house and make it hard for him,
I almost took Micah with 1 sack.
he's going to be in the game a lot.
I almost took Micah because he didn't play that much. That's why I didn't like to take him. How you know he's going to play a lot?
That's all we've heard this week is that he's going to be playing a considerable amount more. And plus, it's been a week or two. He's starting to get into the flow of it. I think they'll give him at least a couple quarters.
I should have added him. He's going to have a sack.
I think you'll be fine with Jaden, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think you're okay.
So what am I in danger? What could I
think all
lose?
3 of those are actually pretty good bets.
I do too. The
only one that I'm curious, and it's only because I
13
don't know how Washington.
13 to win 70.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one I'm kind of curious about is the Deebo Samuel rushing one, just because I don't know how much they're going to have him run the ball. But if he gets 1, I mean, that's a pretty good odd.
I mean, I could win in the first series.
Yeah.
Just give him a little flip. Just a little flip. Because I didn't trust him on receptions. But just a little flip. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got on the board?
Ralph, I just looked at your Zillow of your old house in Palos Verde.
Did
It's
my
coming
what?
up as 3.85 mil.
My what?
Your old home.
My Zilla?
They Zillowed. They're Zillowed.
What does that mean?
Zillow is a website that you can go back and look at like how much houses are now, like if you wanted to go buy.
Really?
Yes. If
And
you
you just
type
pumped in
in-
the and they heard my address and wrote it down.
Yep. And they looked it up for you.
1600 via Barcelona.
It's nearly $4 million now.
Really? And in 1979, when we moved out there, I think my parents paid like 200 grand for that house. And it's worth $3.8 million now.
That's what they're saying.
Good God Almighty.
Most expensive thing in this country is dirt.
Palos Verdes is just a beautiful, beautiful area. I was telling when Teresa Golden was here, because she has peacocks on her property, that the peninsula is filled with peacocks and skunks. I had never seen a live skunk until they came and started eating our dog food. We would put the dog food out on the back porch, and they would walk, and it's right near the sliding glass door on the side, on the living room side of the house, and it would be like the hit of my mother. My mother would have like a party in the living room, and these country, I don't know, my mother's friends had just nobody had ever seen a skunk up close and personal, and the skunks didn't give a damn. They'd sit right there at the bowl and grub out. My mother would be like, "Y'all want to see a skunk? Check them out. We call them Stinky and Pinky." I was like, well, that's not funny. But that and peacocks you will see out on the peninsula. I loved living out there. I didn't get to go to school there. I transferred from Sherman Oaks to Brentwood, from Buckley to Brentwood after my 10th grade year. And that summer, no, that's not true, because we still lived in Ladera for a little bit. But like that summer going to my 12th grade year, we moved out to PV. And it just didn't make sense for me to transfer again to PV, where my sisters both graduated. Do you know who graduated from Palos Verdes High School? What NBA player? Let me give you a hint.
Okay.
He was a mean-spirited rebounder and defender on 2 championship teams.
2 separate championship teams?
I believe they went back-to-back, actually. Mean-spirited, hated by every. You really think Dennis Rodman went to?
That's why I was going to like, wait, really? Yeah.
No. Mean-spirited center. Everybody hated him. This will give it away. Larry Bird, in particular, hated his guts, and he was a Dolphin out of Palos Verdes.
I don't know why
Little older.
Lambeer is coming up to my mind.
That is exactly correct.
Okay, cool.
Bill Lambier is a PV graduate. Probably the only professional athlete to ever come out of that school, boy. Can you believe that? That kid, a PV kid, went to the NBA as a tough guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's probably why he became a tough guy, because he was born with a freaking golden spoon in his mouth, and he was probably soft. And he probably said, if I'm going to make it in this league, I got to be a badass.
And over time, you probably get sick and tired of hearing that too.
He was just, I hated him. I mean, not like I hated Bird. I hated Bird because Bird would kill us.
Right.
But Lambier was just a cheap, no good son of a gun. You ever seen that fight with him and Bird where Bird throws the ball at him?
Yeah.
And the foul where he just basically just
hooks him.
Just hooks him in the face and takes him down. And they get on the ground, and Bird is like, "You mother!" He's just killing him. And they finally separate him. And at that point, this is the 80s. So at that point, either one of them was about to get thrown out. And then Bird is like standing at the free throw line, and Lambier is down on the baseline. And Bird is so mad that he just is like, "You mother," and picks up the ball and just throws it at him. And dude should have been a pitcher. Hit him right in the head. It was great. Hit him right in the head. And that's when the ref's like, "All right, Larry, I wasn't going to throw you out, bro, but now you got to go." That's one of the great fights of all time. The what?
Imagine that in a game today. Someone starts a fight and they let them both stay in.
Oh, there's so much stuff that goes on that they the Eric Davis fight with Ray Knight, they didn't get thrown out. They didn't throw people out in the 70s and the 80s. If it was a good, clean fight, they let it go.
When do they really start that? You think the Mouse of the Palace really is when they?
Yes,
that's
exactly when they said, "We got a problem. We got to clean this up." That's when
the same thing.
That's when they instituted the rule: anybody that comes off the bench, it's not only thrown out of the game, but you're suspended.
Yep.
And that stopped guys from rushing to fights and it becoming a brawl. And of course, he's talking about the Detroit Pistons fight with the Indiana Pacers, which is, if you don't know what we're talking about, and if you haven't seen it, in fact, I was watching Up in Smoke or Don't Smoke or Smokeless. What the hell is Barnes and them calls? Barnes and Jackson.
All the Smoke.
And Steven Jackson was on the Pacers. And anytime, it's so
he was
funny.
at the center of it.
Anytime they talk about it, they show clips of it. And you see, who was the first to go? It was O'Neal. I think it was O'Neal who was the first one, because Ron was laying on the scoreboard and the fighting's going on. Then they threw a beer at, who did I just say?
Artest.
Ron Artest. So he starts to go on, and it's not that big a deal. And then Jerome O'Neal gets in, and then they jump O'Neal, and that's when Steven Jackson jumps in, and Jackson is just wearing some dude out. I mean, just like boom, boom, boom. And it was just, it was such a mess. In fact, I'm going to go back and watch that tonight.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I really am. It's, Reggie Miller was on that club.
Yeah.
He wasn't dressed that night, but he tells a great story.
That was his last year, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in street clothes that night, but he was there. And I think Rick Carlisle was coaching. I don't think Bird was coaching at that point. I think it was Rich Carlisle.
No, if Larry Bird was coaching, he'd probably be in the stands with him.
Yeah, it was. Larry was a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when he fought Dr. J? Have you ever heard the story about that?
I haven't heard the story behind it, but I've seen video of what had happened.
Oh, but Barkley tells a great story because Barkley got accused because he held Larry trying to hold him off. And that's when Doc was like, bip, 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 bip. And Charles was like, I wasn't holding him for Doc. I was trying to peel him off Doc. But he always got accused of setting him up because he hit him pretty good. But Barkley tells the story how it began. Because, as most folks know, if you follow the NBA and you listen to these talk shows and you listen to these older players, Magic and all these guys, Larry Bird was the biggest trash talker in the NBA. By far. By far. Bird was so bad, like good, such a badass, that he would tell players coming out of a timeout, look, DJ's going to come over and set a screen, and I'm going to go in that corner, and I'm going to shoot it right in your MFing face to win the game. And they'd be like, yeah, right. And they'd run the play, and he would hit it. So they're playing against Philly. And I think it was Doc's last year, Dr. J's last year. And Larry's killing him. And throughout the entire game, Larry is screaming at Chuck, you better get this old man off me. He can't cover me. I'm going to go for 50. You better get this old man off of me. And then finally, Chuck said, one trip down, Doc just had enough. Just grabbed him by the neck. And boom, they're going at it. And they're finally going at it. And Chuck gets in and holds Larry. And that's when Doc was like, this is my turn. Boom, 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 boom. Hit about 3 times in the face. Oh, it's classic, man. Doesn't it suck to love the past more than you love the present or the future? I love the 20th century. It was so much fun. No cameras, no phones.
This is why I've always hoped that they could figure out time travel so you can go back and actually relive all these moments and stuff like that.
I would love to relive either the 70s or the 80s. Man, I
would you go back as you are now, or would you prefer it like your brain goes back to your younger self?
You can't go back now of what you know because you'd be a genius.
Right.
You would avoid all the mistakes.
So essentially, you'd be hitting a reset button on a video game.
I would have had sex with Tammy Vigil when I was in 6th grade when she lived across the street. We'd play hide and seek, and she would just show her chest. And I was such a goofball, I would just like stare at him. I wouldn't even touch him. I was such a punk.
That's probably why she did it.
Tammy Vigil, the Cerritos hoe. And I always look back like, why did I not? I mean, thank God I'd probably have a 40-year-old son, but I don't know what brought that up. But quick time out. Not a lot of time before we get to the bottom of the hour. What are we doing when we come back? We'll read some more of your text messages. We'll let Jeremy Tobias take a victory lap. We talked with him yesterday, and their event, along with SSD Alarms event, went extremely well. They had a food drive. You'll hear from the leader of Cap K. And DeMarcus Brown Jr., the murderer, allegedly, of the Ukrainian woman, spoke with his sister on the telephone in prison. We have that audio for you. We'll play that for you before we get out of here. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. And don't forget, Dodgers-Giants start tomorrow night, 3-game series up in San Francisco. Up on a bay, it calls to me. That's enough of that. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRM. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1.
Casey?
The next Armstrong and Getty Show, of course, will bring you the latest on the manhunt for the assassin of poor Charlie Kirk, plus the eloquent statements of the need for America to abandon political violence keep coming, and we will bring them to you.
Plus, we'll try to have a little fun on a Friday, and all the other news stories we've been following, they didn't just go away. We'll have the latest on the next Armstrong and Getty Show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
My man, Chet the Jet, who I grew up with in Inglewood, California, is coming into town this weekend, wants a good meal. And I said, well, there's only one place we can go. And he said, are you going to take me to that steakhouse? I said, exactly. That's exactly. You read my mind. We'll be headed to Casey's Steakhouse. I'll take him next door to the Stockyard. He's never been there. He's been in the Casey's Steakhouse. He's heard Jimmy and Bobby providing live music Tuesday through Saturday, but he's never been in the Stockyard. And if you haven't either, you need to go next door. It is a speakeasy-like bar that been an absolute game changer for Cassie Biddle. Try one of their craft cocktails. You can have dinner in there. And I've told you about the banquet room for parties or election night events or meetings, whatever. It is a beautiful layout and just a wonderful way to end the night or even begin the night before you go into the main restaurant. And they, too, in the Stockyard have live music Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Where would you rather be than on F Street? Come say hi if you see me Saturday night. It's KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Oh no, Dad, I spilled juice on the carpet.
Don't worry, kiddo. We have stain-resistant carpet from Carpet Outlet Plus.
Dad, Lucky dumped his water bowl all over the new floors.
Everything is fine. We have brand new waterproof floors from Carpet Outlet Plus. You can find everything you need for family-proof floor at Bakersfield's best flooring store. Now offering 1 year, no interest financing. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus.
Hey Siri,
Every day is sale
show
day.
me Dragnet.
Please meet Paul Sheldon's client, Vivian Rushing.
Hi, my name is Vivian Rushing. I am a client of Paul Sheldon. They
Hey,
helped
Siri.
me get everything in order.
Show
I
me
had
the
no
television
clue what I
show
was doing,
Dragnet.
and they were wonderful. The staff is amazing. Lynn and Kelly go out of their way to make you feel comfortable when you walk through the doors and make sure you have everything that you need. Paul is very accommodating. He uses himself as an example to help you understand the process of the insurance and what benefits you should be looking at and what you shouldn't be looking at and how to go about getting it together. I have recommended Paul Sheldon. Just a couple of days ago, I was in line to get my medications, and this gentleman was talking about retiring and didn't know what to do. I told him, contact Paul Sheldon. He's the best. I just want to say thank you, Paul Sheldon. You're wonderful and your staff is amazing.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hey, 842-537-6842. You trying to take away my First Amendment rights?
No, I pressed your button a couple times. For some reason it wouldn't turn on.
What do you got?
Ralph, don't forget the Bin Laden family was also flown out. They had the privilege of lying like the Saudis.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. I just can't go down that rabbit hole. I just can't. There are a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of freaky circumstances, how that third building fell. And, you know, experts, demolition experts say that it fell just like a demolition. I mean, it just fell straight to the ground. I'm not talking about the towers. I'm talking about the third building. And even the towers, some experts say that should not have collapsed in the manner in which it did. But I just think it's too tragic to go down that route. And no, I'm not. I can't. I just can't. Final half hour of the broadcast on this Thursday. Don't forget, tomorrow's a Friday. Our good friend Rick Bentley will join us. In the meantime, it's TRBS, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1.
Oh, I should take another lap.
KERN.
I got to take another lap. I got to take another lap.
With us are
Can't be
in
lazy.
news. I'm Keith Peters in
Gotta get my
Washington.
steps.
Officials
Gotta
say
get
the
my
United
steps.
States
Gotta
Naval
get my
Academy in
steps.
Maryland is on lockdown as law enforcement respond to reports of threats made to the military school. A spokesperson for the base that hosts the academy said the military academy in Annapolis was working with local law enforcement on Thursday to respond to reports of threats. A U.S. appeals court panel has allowed President Donald Trump's administration to block Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood while legal challenges continue. Planned Parenthood says Thursday's ruling means that more than 1.1 million patients can't use their Medicaid insurance at the bases. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 617 points. This is SRN News.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A convicted rapist was found guilty on 6 of 8 counts for sexually assaulting a woman in Southwest Bakersfield in 2022. Police say Sergio Venegas pulled her into a secluded area, pulled a knife, and assaulted her. Venegas was later found with some of the victim's property he'd stolen. He was convicted of rape in 1999. Sentence will be passed at a future hearing. Police are investigating after a body was found near a dumpster in a shopping complex in Southwest Bakersfield. So far, officers do not suspect foul play. Police arrived on scene at the 6000 block of Panama Lane. They found a body behind the dumpster. Officers suspect that the man was homeless. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey from Sangera Subaru. One of the best things I admire about Subaru, how they give back to our community. And the start of the school year is the perfect time to recognize our teachers and principals with Subaru's VIP Educator Program. Now, through October 31st at Sangera Subaru, teachers, principals, or assistants of pre-K through 12th grade are eligible to receive $500 off the purchase or lease of a brand new Subaru. That's right. $500 in savings plus utilizing Subaru's monthly sales incentive. So if you're a teacher, principal, or assistant, call Sangera Subaru at 661-836-3737 or stop by and see my dear friends Damon Culberts and Hassan Levy. The whole Subaru team is ready to help, but it's only good through October 31st. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community.
Offer available August 1st through October 31st and subject to change. Cannot be combined with any other VIP programs, but can be combined with retailer or consumer incentives. This offer applies to active classroom teachers, principals, and vice principals at pre-K through 12 schools.
The JR Show.
So the city council moved forward the idea of renaming South H Street to Avocado, the Cesar Chavez. I don't know, whatever. Look, it's not the name that bothers me. It could have been Cesar Chavez. It could have been Martin Luther King Jr. It could have been Buck Owens. It does not matter. At a time like this, when we don't have the money, how are we going to spend, from what I'm told, over $1 million to do a street name change? It's just not the right time to do it.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
So did they not have the FBI press conference in Orem, Utah?
To be honest, I wasn't sure if they were going to have it or not. And I didn't see anything on the Fox feed, but
Yeah. Somebody mentioned me in a comment. I'm getting so many friends requests. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm out of friends. I've hit the 5,000 friend level, so I can't add people. I feel so bad. Not badly. I don't feel badly. God, who did I hear screw that up? I think it was the press secretary or somebody who should not have made that error. I think it was either Trump or the press secretary. I can't remember. They said they felt badly. Here's how you know. Here are linking verbs. Linking verbs are all the senses. Like you wouldn't say it tastes badly, would you? How does it taste? It tastes badly. No, it tastes bad. How does it look? It looks good. It doesn't look too good. It looks bad. You know what I'm saying? Linking verbs take adjectives. Regular verbs take adverbs. You don't feel if you literally felt badly, that would mean that you burned off the tips of your fingers and you can't feel. I feel badly. But you feel good, don't you? That's an adjective. It's not an adverb. I can't understand. The two things are just, I don't know why. That and I could care less just drives me up a wall. I mean, don't people like dissect sentences and hear them? Can't you dissect that sentence and hear it? I could care less. Don't you understand what that means? If you could care less, that means there's a certain amount that you care because you could care less. So you care. But what you're trying to communicate is, I couldn't possibly care. I care so little, I couldn't possibly care less. There's nothing more than zero. That's how much I care. I don't care. I couldn't care less. There's no amount under zero. There's no negative. Sorry. And recommend has one C. What are my other grammatical peeves?
Like RECC?
No, it is one C.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Is that
Yes, a lot of people sell it.
RECC?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I have many that bother me, but
I could not care less one. It bugs me.
It bugs the crap out of me. Bugs the crap out of me.
People who overuse the word literally as well.
Yes,
are actually using it improperly.
Yes, the cow literally jumped over the moon. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Literally means it actually happened. Figuratively speaking, you know what I'm saying? That's what you should say. Figuratively, the cow jumped over the moon. But the cow doesn't. It can't literally jump over the moon. What do you got on the board? Let's clear it before we get out of here.
No pick on the game or spread. You're costing me money. Ralph Bailey. That's from JD.
Oh, sorry, JD. I can't tell you now. Although
the game was set at 3.5.
3.5 for GB.
Yes.
I would have taken Green Bay.
Really?
I would have taken Green Bay. So Washington, the Commanders are going to win, or at least cover.
We have come on the show in the morning says he was going with Washington.
Who? Or your guy?
Yeah, Bolt Brady. I'm curious what Brandon would say though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What did Washington do last week?
Oh, they killed the Giants.
Oh, that's a bad test.
Yeah, that's not really a.
Because Russell Wilson is through.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's done. He's done. It's over. He's just done. I saw some of the highlights of that game. And plus they have Jackson Dart. And Russell's got one more start left. And then they're going to yank him. In fact, he may not even finish. Who do they play this week? Hey, Siri, who do the New York Giants play this week?
The Giants lost to the Commanders last
I know that, Siri. Who do they play this week?
Cowboys.
Ooh, the Battle of the Ineps. Although Dallas didn't look too bad.
No, they're not bad enough to say they're going to lose to the Giants.
Where is it? In Dallas?
I believe so.
Not Irving.
Yes, at Dallas.
Where are they now? Arlington?
Arlington.
Yeah. Yeah, he might not finish that game, Russell Wilson. Boy, did you see Ciara though at the US Open? God, I didn't realize. Good Lord Almighty. Dude, retire and go lay up with her. What's the matter with you? Why would you take that beating when you could come home to that every night? She is fine. I didn't realize. I saw her at the ESPYs, and I was like, because when they wear all the makeup and stuff and the big dress, I'm like, that ain't me. But she just had a ball cap on and very little makeup at the US Open, and I was like, wow, good for you, Russell. What's he gonna do? Do you see him in the booth? He's
Probably
a pretty boy. Why not? He's a pretty boy.
No, he is.
He's articulate.
I actually see him more coaching.
Russell Wilson?
I could see it.
I guess.
But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of these guys that'll probably get plucked just because they have the charisma and stuff like that, especially quarterbacks now.
Is he a Hall of Famer, or did Pete Carroll and the offensive coordinator cost him a Hall of Fame? Because if he wins back-to-back Super Bowls, he's automatically in.
You'd have to.
There's only one quarterback, and it's a travesty of justice, who's won 2 Super Bowls is not in the Hall of Fame. Who is it? Former Raider.
That's what I was just thinking. I can't remember his name right now.
Jim Plunkett.
Is it Plunkett? Okay.
2 Super Bowls, 81, 84, and the number 1 pick coming out of Stanford when he went to New England with Randy Vataha, and they lit it up for 2 years. It was just a crappy team, and he was that, vagabond quarterback that Al Davis plucked out of nowhere, and I think it was Mark Wilson that went down, or somebody went. No, it was Dan Pastorini. We had just traded for Dan Pastorini from Houston, and he went down, and Plunkett went in, and we never looked back. We beat Philly in 81, and we beat the crap out of the then Redskins in 84. The famous story, Fred Beal and I had this huge party. Fulton County, Atlanta, is a dry county, so you can't literally buy beer and wine and booze on Sundays. But you can go to Bennigan Stafford and get obliterated, which I've just never understood. And so we bought all the Stroh's beers. We bought like a case of beer and several bottles of Evan Williams that we called Jack Daniels. Yeah, we did that. We took a Jack Daniels bottle and we poured the Evan Williams in the Jack Daniels bottle, because the Evan Williams was $9.99 for a handle. Jack Daniels was like $18. We were broke.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we bought all this liquor. And the party for a quarter was one of the best parties ever. And by the second quarter, and particularly when Jack Squire intercepts the screen pass right before the end of the half, and we go up like 28-7, by the middle of the third quarter, Fred and I were playing two-handed spades. Our entire house was empty. We had a half a case of beer. And then the worst part was like, and what the hell are we going to do with that nasty-ass Evan Williams? Because I ain't drinking it. And I can remember, this is a true story. I can remember, I'm sorry, I'm reminiscing. Forget about it. I can remember it's like Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday of that week. And I forget that we had done the transition. So I come home. I used to have to work till like 5. I come home at 5:30. Fred worked at night, so I had the apartment all to myself. And I sit down and I make myself a little Jack and Coke. I'm sitting, getting ready to watch something. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, that's right. This is Evan Williams. And if you're a bourbon drinker, and if you ever drank Evan Williams, if you haven't drank Evan Williams, imagine putting a piece of charcoal in your mouth, okay? And then drinking a bourbon. That's what Evan Williams was like. Tastes like charcoal.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh, it's just the worst. But it was $9.99 a handle.
It's job done.
We used to buy it when we'd go to Braves games, Fulton County Stadium. Fulton County Stadium was in the ghetto. So much so that there was literally a liquor store, like literally 50 yards from the stadium. And we'd go in there and buy a handle of Evan Williams for $9.99. $9.99. And it was 82, 83, 84. You could just put it in your jacket and walk in. They didn't give a damn. There was no, checking and putting your keys and all that nonsense. Just come on in. And we sit out in center field bleachers with our Cokes and just get absolutely obliterated. Because the whole point was we had to we weren't going to walk out with the bottle. So the 4 of us had to kill it. And 4 of us drinking a handle of Evan Williams. Whoo! Flying. We almost got a TBS camera guy fired because he wanted a cocktail. And we were like, come on, man, just go ahead here. I said, here, we made him a drink. And he said, here, we'll just leave it there in a little Coke thing. And he was like doing something. He was like talking to us. Oh, no, yeah, I got it. I was like, damn, let's leave this dude alone before he gets his ass fired. Let's take our final break of the night. Keep it locked. What are we running tonight?
I believe it's still Charlie Kirk.
We're still running Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, he has a fill-in host. And again, I have no idea what.
Oh, but it is a fill-in. It's not a best of.
No, it's a fill-in.
All right.
He had a fill-in already planned, obviously, because he was starting the tour. What their plan is, I'm not sure, nor what ours is.
Well, I understand that Megan has canceled her tour.
Yes.
That she and Charlie were supposed to be here November 20th.
So sad. So sad. Tomorrow's a Friday. Our good friend Rick Bentley will be with us. We'll preview the Giant Dodger series there in San Francisco for 3. And when we come back, play a couple of audios for you. Jeremy Tobias about their very successful food drive. And we'll hear from finally DeMarcus Brown Jr., the alleged killer of a young Ukrainian refugee coming home from her pizza job and just happened to sit in the wrong seat. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180, KERN.
Friday edition, Clay and Buck. It's been a very, very tough week. We will update you with the absolute latest on the chart.
You want to bust out your promo?
Damn, I shouldn't have looked. You ready? 3, 2. And here's the bottom line. I agree with David Torres that we should not put our flags at half staff, sir, not half mast. That's the Navy. But to take cheap shots at a dead man who was assassinated literally hours after he was shot, it's just tacky, Mr. Torres. And it's beneath the United States Marine, and it's certainly beneath you. Three, 2. Oh, now I can see the game. I don't want to see the game. 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Well, it's a Friday, so KGET entertainment reporter Rick Bentley will join us. Plus, we'll preview Dodgers versus the god-awful, stinky, smelly, orange and black San Francisco Giants. All that. And me at 3. It's TRBS, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN. I'll see you at 3.
Download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
When your name's on a paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same day or next day delivery, or order online and pick it up in store. Kills primers, pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Sad and lonely. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. You can't ever tell. Movie's gonna make me a big star. I can play the part so well. So I hope you'll come and see me in the movies. 842-537-6842-KERA. Let's clear the board and get out of here.
Real quick, looking into this a little bit more, the press conference from Cash Patel will start at 6:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Mountain time.
Really? Well, that's good. It's something to watch when I get home. I got time to kill.
Because it is an hour in front of us, correct?
Yes,
Mountain
they're
time?
on Mountain Time. Yeah, Utah's on Mountain Time. Well, that must mean they've got something important to tell us. And I think it's more, I don't think they've caught the guy. I think they're going to say, we've identified him. This is who he is. We're looking for him. $100,000 reward. Help us find this guy, which is very, very common. Very, very common. You can't get away with murder in the 21st century. You just can't. You just can't. There are too many cameras, the DNA, you can't. There's just no way. And he left he left the damn Hansel and Gretel trail. You know, he left the rifle, the imprints where he was lying down on the top of the roof. But it was well organized. It was well planned out, Jack. And I'd be willing to bet that we find out that he was a student at Utah Valley, probably part of ROTC or had some sort of military background or some kind of marksmanship. You don't have to necessarily be military to pull off that shot. I know a lot of hunters that could pull off that shot, but it was not an easy shot. It really wasn't. And it was clearly a kill shot. And I think he was aiming for his neck. You could miss with a headshot. Like I said, you can get shot in the face and survive. Unless you hit him in the brain, which I think is a more difficult shot. Now, why don't they run that play with the Commanders? They just ran a reverse in Green Bay. Why don't the Commanders run that play? They'd be in the tall cotton. 842-5376-842-KRN. What do you got?
I remember right after 9/11, both chambers stood outside the Capitol and sung God Bless America.
I know.
We will never see that today.
Nope, you're absolutely right. And I really thought for a millisecond that this event might plunge us into that. And instead, both sides have just gone to their corners. I just read somebody posted on Facebook one of the stupid things that Charlie Kirk said. And like I said, when we talked about it at the top of the show, I didn't always agree with Mr. Kirk. And the quote that the guy posted was the quote that I quoted, where he said something like, I see a black pilot and I just hope that he's qualified. Now, I don't think that makes you a racist. It makes you stupid. And smart people can be stupid. And I know what he was trying to say. He was trying to, perpetuate the DEI hire. We don't hire pilots based on race. And even if we do, they are qualified pilots. And it's just a stupid thing to say. And regardless of how you felt about Charlie Kirk, again, the bigger picture is political violence. The idea that a man can't, that's the great thing about America. You're allowed to be stupid. You're allowed to say stupid things. Nobody knows that better than yours truly. I say something stupid every day, 5 days a week. Something stupid comes out of my pie hole. But I have that right. And God forbid somebody should come in here and shoot me for it. And I just hope when Mr. Torres meets his maker, that no one disrespects his legacy like that and allows his grandchildren and children to have to read what people thought about him. And I just hope that people would say whatever they have to say about Mr. Torres while he's still alive so he can defend himself. Now, I'm not inviting him on this program, not ever. But if Mr. Torres wants to come on and invite himself and confront me about my belief that it's just a tacky thing to do. Just a tacky thing to do, to attack somebody who was shot in the neck less than 24 hours after their death, before they're even buried, before they even brought back to their home. It's just tacky. It's just gauche. It's just mean-spirited.
Had he just simply stayed with his thesis that the county should not raise the flags at half staff, and again, great catch by I didn't want to say anything, but a great catch by our listener that it's not half-mast. I'm shocked that a Marine would get that wrong. But that's not the only thing he got wrong in his Facebook entry. It's just not him. I didn't think that was him. And I agree with him. We should not be hoisting up our flags that have staff just because a celebrity died. Didn't get one for Sidney Poitier. Didn't get one for Richard Pryor. And how do we determine what celebrity we do this for? But to just take kidney shots at a dead man, like I said at the top of the show, Marines are trained to shoot people or take shots at people, I should say. They're trained to do that, but they're not trained to take shots at dead people. And certainly not cheap shots. And that's exactly what Mr. Torres did. So my relationship at 17 is over. His daughter is the assistant news director, and she's helped me out endless amounts of time. She's a wonderful young woman. He does produce good children. I can say that for him. But I think when you start to get old like me, you get a little crusty and you get a little mean-spirited, and you probably say or write things that you probably second guess after you read it. One more and I'm going home.
JD commented back saying Eli won 2 Super Bowls as well.
Yeah, but Eli's getting in. You don't think Eli's getting in?
I'm still on the.
Oh, Eli's getting in. Eli's getting in for sure. For sure. It's been, 35 years from Jim Plunkett. Eli's getting in. Have you gone crazy?
Eli will get in before
he
Russ
beat
gets
Brady
in.
twice. Did he beat Brady twice for the Super Bowl?
No, he beat Brady twice.
He's getting in for sure. It may not be. Has he been out 5 years already? Is he eligible?
He's coming up on 5, I think.
Yeah, he's good. He's a first ballot. He's getting in. Oh, he's getting in. What? One more.
I don't think this person is or has professional training, just a lot of FA practice.
Could be. We'll find out. Like I said, I know a lot of guys, hunters, that could make that shot. I bet Gino Valpredo could make that shot. I bet Chris Zucchini could make that shot. I bet a lot of you hunters out there could make that shot. I don't know if you could make that shot under those circumstances, though. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you're killing another human being, knowing that you're going to have to be on the run as soon as after you fire the shot. But a lot of guys can make that shot. Want to thank Mike Turnipseed for joining us, along with our money man, Daniel Petrie. Tomorrow is a Friday. One of our favorite guests, Rick Bentley from KGT, Speak of the Devil, will join us, talk a little entertainment, and we'll preview tomorrow night's Giant Dodger game. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. I will rap to you tomorrow.
This is AM 1180 KERN, Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM, Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump plans to award Charlie Kirk with the nation's highest civilian honor. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
A day after the assassination of conservative grassroots leader Charlie Kirk, the president announced he will be posthumously awarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people.
The 31-year-old Kirk was a major Christian conservative influencer and played
Should
a
have been on
significant
reception.
role in the Trump presidential campaigns. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Americans have marked 24 years since the September 11th, 2001 attacks with solemn
Ooh.
ceremonies, volunteer work, and other
Third and three.
tributes
This is the
honoring the
perfect
victims.
spot for the reverse.
At the Pentagon
Third and
today,
three. This is the
President
perfect
Trump
spot.
expressed his
Send 'em in motion
condolences
and
to
send
the
'em coming back
families
the
of
other way.
9/11 victims.
Come on.
First Lady
It's
and
the
I
perfect spot.
unite with you in sorrow. And today,
Is that no? It's,
as one nation, we renew our sacred vow that we
Got it.
will never forget
that him?
September 11th, 2001.
should have gone with him
At the
too.
World Trade
He's
Center
4.5.
site
He's
in
already
New
got
York
2
City,
catches
the nearly
that I've seen.
3,000 victims' names were read aloud Thursday.
Should have gone with him.
And near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, a similar ceremony honored the victims of Flight 93. A U.S. appeals court panel has allowed President Trump's administration to block Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood while legal challenges continue. Planned Parenthood says Thursday's ruling means that more than 1.1 million patients can't use their Medicaid insurance at its clinics. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 611 points, the Nasdaq rose 157, the S&P 500
And he could have
advanced
caught a
55.
touchdown if he didn't.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
See you guys. Thanks for listening.
Guess who's
See
watching
you
Rob
tomorrow for
Finnerty
Big
on
Bentley.
Newsmax? President Trump is. He even says Finnerty's show is so terrific. Millions are joining President Trump to watch Finnerty every night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. All this week, Rob